Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to MacArthur Field. It's always a special day when we get to the second week of November and we get to Senior Day. It's a day to commemorate many seniors and their last final home game in front of their parents and for this program, but it also turns the page. Today, Western Oregon will take on an opponent it has never played before, Lincoln University, the Oaklanders, in their very first year of Division II football. Don't underestimate your opponent. Don't look at the scoreboard. Lots of new players for Western Oregon are going to play today, and a lot of the old guard are going to be there to root on their teammates. But today will be dedicated specifically to about 10 outgoing seniors here at Western Oregon and their contribution to a program that saw them go from obscurity to a co-championship in 2019 of the GNAC Conference. All of the action alongside myself, Director Ken Louis-Tag, Michael Brown, and everybody at KWVT. All the action coming up next on KWVT, Channel 17. We'll take a brief moment and have the final part of the national anthem song. It is Senior Day, Michael Brown. I don't really need to put it in any more terms than that. This is a celebration of 10 players in their final home game in front of their peers, alumni, family, and friends, and it will be a changing of the guard coming this afternoon. Bittersweet for us. This is our first time going through a class, and we got to talk to several parents today, and you can see how emotional it is. But let's also talk about the opponent. The Lincoln University Oaklanders. They've never played Division II football. They're 1-7 on the season. They've been on the wrong side of a lot of bad games this year, but this is an opportunity again for them today, and an opponent that Western cannot overlook.
Yeah, not overlook. Even though they have a rough schedule that they've had so far, losing a game 92-0 at one point. They're learning Division II football this year and taking the bumps and bruises as they do that. But Western Oregon, they themselves have had a rough season in different times. Last game, competitive in the first half, and the game got away from them. And it's a chance for, again, these seniors especially, to go out on a victory note, hopefully, for Western Oregon fans. A big changing of the guard is going to happen this afternoon, Michael. Walking around, talking with the coaching staff and players, we're going to see Gannon Winker start the game. The history of Ryan Worley now will be in statistics. He is no longer going to be a part of this program after today. Did an admirable job and is now listed as one of those 10 outgoing players. But did a great job. Instead, there are freshmen, redshirt freshmen, Michael, that aren't even going to be mentioned today, that we have a lot to look forward to 9-10 months from now, and I don't want to discredit what's going to happen today. Several players of note today that we'll be paying attention to: Twister McComas, Curtis Anderson, Andrew Gross, Jacob Pruitt, to name a few. A few of the people that were listed today, Michael, actually still have eligibility and will be back next season. But today, you put the record aside, 3-6 for Western Oregon, and you're going to see, again, that commemoration to the people that have built a program that I think started with, when we got here, Michael, I would say they didn't have the best unity. They didn't have camaraderie. It seems that this is a season that they've built upon what they did in 2019. And today, a chance to go out on a winning note and finish the season with a victory. Yeah, Anthony Orlando, another senior. We spoke to his parents earlier. We'll talk more about that later. Curtis Anderson, one of the first players I noticed the first year I called games. So it's bittersweet. We hope that these players can go out with a victory, but also speak of their triumphs as the seasons have gone along, that we've been able to watch them play.
Before we got on the air today, Western Oregon and the athletic department took their time to commemorate those 10 seniors, and I felt like we were watching, kind of like a Rocky movie when they did Curtis Anderson, 7 Player of the Week awards in the GNAC conference, leading all of his teammates in that category that are leaving us today. Some players that I'll remember today out there, look for number 81, wide receiver Jaron Ford. I remember, Michael, when we were down here early on in a beautiful fall day, and Jaron Ford caught a slant, and the next thing you knew, he was gone. A lot of the players commented just on that ability that he had, to break away yards after catch. Something to watch today. Andrew Gross was commemorated before the game as the kickoff goes to the Oaklanders, and they will have the opening possession of this first quarter in the final game.
As you see, a short kick return for the Oaklanders up to about the 25-yard line, where they'll get started for the day. Again, a team that is new to Division II. There's definitely some things that they're learning as the season's gone along. They have had one victory early this season, but again, not a highly, only about 30 players, 35 players on their roster even this year. So you'll see them try to work out their kinks for next season as well.
Terrence Robertson, number 14, will be joined in the backfield by Whitfield, wide receiver Desmond Short, Calvin Green, and Faison Knight, along with Lamar Housley. 4 wide receivers to start this game for the Oaklanders, starting on their own 25-yard line. Lefty going out to the flat. He'll hit an open receiver for no gain on the play. Housley with the catch.
Yeah, quick. Again, I like the both teams tend to play this type of offense where they're going to throw it out to the receiver. Housley with the speed on the outside, seeing if he can get some blockers with that wide receiver screen, able to pick up a couple of yards. A positive start for Lincoln as the defense for Western Oregon looking to step up here.
Twister McComas, Hector Cazares, and Matt Linnell. A couple of, or 3 of those outgoing seniors are starting on defense in this opening drive. No yards picked up. It'll be second down and 10 for Lincoln. Pressure coming. Play is disrupted by Curtis Anderson, and tackle made by Mack Little.
Yeah, just run right up the middle, and as we've seen over the last couple games here at MacArthur Field, the field is a little slippery, and as we've had a lot of rain over the last week, look for some turf monsters taking down some players today, as we've just seen.
Checking in on the right side of the defensive line, number 19, L.J. Lovelace. Had an opportunity, Michael, to travel with the team last week. I'll tell you, L.J. Lovelace is probably the biggest character on that defensive side of the ball now. Lefty throws behind his intended target, Micaiah Lee slipping. Joey Sinclair also there, but the pass well behind the intended target. Yeah,
going to Housley again. It looks like one of his favorite options out to throw out the ball out there. But behind him, and good job by the defense setting up a 4th down here as you see the special teams for Lincoln come out. Western Oregon looking to receive the ball here shortly. Fortunately today, while it is wet outside, it is no rain from the sky right now, so at least everybody can stand outside and enjoy the game without being rained on as hard as it's been this week.
Back to kick, Oswaldo Ochoa, 6'3", 195-pound sophomore. Ochoa, 35 punts on the year, averaging a little over 33.5. His long punt of the year, 55 yards. Joey Sinclair, stationed on his own 35-yard line, waiting the punt. A lot of pressure being shown. Short kick. Sinclair will signal for the fair catch. He'll get it at the 45-yard line. And Western Oregon will come out. And you are going to see a much different look. It is going to be Gannon. Come on, Mike. I can say it. Winker. Finally, we got a Gannon getting his first start today. Jaron Ford, number 81, made reference to him. Thomas Wright Jr. be on the bottom of your screen.
And you'll see it with the Amari show as usual. Amari land on the ground is what gave them the most success this season. And so we expect to see a lot from Amari.
Amari land with 107 yards will go over 1,000 yards for the season. Opening handoff goes to Amari Land going off the right side.
picks up one block, spins away, Mike, and he is going to get almost a first down on second and third effort. Great start for Amari Land.
Yeah, that first contact doesn't mean much to him this year. He takes that hit, but is able to drive his legs through the defender. You have to wrap up against Amari Land and against Dominique Loggins as his backup. The Western Oregon Wolves lost Andrew Valadares, who was a great contributor this season, so you see a lot from Amari today.
Andrew Valadares and I had a chance to speak on the sideline before the game. Andrew is doing well, about 3 or 4 weeks away from being able to resume activities, a slight strain of the MCL, and Andrew will be back next season to be with Amari in the backfield. First down yardage going to be picked up there on a second and short opportunity, and the chains are going to move.
And you see right up the middle there, Amari able to, again, use his strength every time. Wrapped up in the high, but the defender needs to get a little bit lower to be able to take him down. Low center of gravity for Amari Land, able to push through. First down, Western Oregon Wolves.
Looking to the future, number 23, Michael, on that road trip to Nebraska last week, I can firmly say that he will be a very outspoken leader of this team in his senior year next fall. Land off to the left, there's a flag. He picks up another 6 yards, but that flag thrown in the area typically referred to as holding.
Yeah, as they're running that stretch play, he sees the corner, able to get to the outside, but behind him he doesn't notice there's a flag, and they're walking backwards. And it looks like a hold for the Wolves on Mack Little. Excuse me, I thought they said 42, but unless he came in to play fullback that time.
I do think that there are 2 number 42s on this team. I have this weird feeling, Michael.
Thank you.
But I don't know who it is. Maybe they switched jersey. I don't know. Maybe Mack does get in the backfield.
Or Austin Goldstein, who plays tight end usually.
So maybe 43 Austin Goldstein back out there in kind of that power formation. Loggins in. He'll take the toss off the left side. Good block. Runs into his blocker, and he's hung up in a nice tackle, individual effort coming from Dion White.
Dion White, the linebacker, able to get in the backfield. And another loss for Western Oregon. Grabs him by the foot enough to hold him up enough to wait for the rest of the defense to come up. But Western Oregon to the line quickly. Second down.
Winker now going to put the ball in the air for the first time, but he will duck and run. He likes it, but keeps behind the line of scrimmage. Man wide open in the flat. A lot of room to run. Damian Hickok looks like he has the ball, Mike. He's going to fall inside about the 16-yard line. We'll take that for 15 plus 34. I'll go for a 49-yard pickup.
Yeah, Winker has right open, but decides not to throw it. But on the other side, Hickok wide open and then uses his speed. A missed tackle there from Lincoln, and he's looking for blockers on his way down the field. Again, Western Oregon to the line of scrimmage quickly. Almost a no-huddle look for them today as they're back to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap on a first down.
Winker wearing number 14. Obviously, we remember Ty Curry from 2 years ago. Winker also very, very prone to run the ball himself. Land gets it up the middle. He'll make a few tackles miss, pick up positive yardage, and move the ball inside the 10 or close to the 10-yard line, Michael.
Same thing. It looks like a run option, and he decides to hand it off to Land. And Land, again, just right up the middle, working his way down, getting some more rushing yards for Western Oregon.
A lot of options for this offense today going against a beleaguered Oaklanders defense. They're going to give it their best shot, but Winker has the ability to tuck and run. He can throw the ball downfield. He's got Amari Land, Damian Hickok, Jaron Ford, all on this play right here. Man in motion, they'll give it to Land. Land runs off the left side. He's trying to make a tackle miss. He'll lose yardage on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long here.
Yeah, great team defense there by Lincoln, able to get 4 players in the backfield. Amari Land has nowhere to go on that play. And it looks like about a 3rd and 8 for Western Oregon to pick up a first down. They can still pick up a first down inside the 3-yard line, as we'll see what they decide to play on this one.
Base defense being shown right here, but a little pressure they might want to put on Winker here as it's a throwing down. They'll go out in the flat. Land's got it. No one's there. Touchdown, Wolves! On a very, very well-designed play and miscommunication from the Oaklanders defense.
Great job. Almost a no-look pass. He knows he has his man wide open out there. Amari Land catches the ball, cruises into the end zone. An easy touchdown there for the Wolves. Starting out this game great as they get a touchdown on their first drive. Able to work their way down. Extra point to come.
Cosette will come out for the extra point. We might have seen Andrew Gross to come out to hold, but Andrew Gross took a pretty ugly ankle injury a week ago. Kick is up and it is good, and it is the Wolves on the board. We will step away for a TV timeout with the Wolves up 7-0 here on KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back to Northwest Television Sports on KWVT Channel 17. Let me introduce myself. I'm Matt Palumbo alongside my cohort, Michael Brown. Opening drive. It takes basically 5 minutes, so 3 minutes and 50 seconds, 7 plays, 65 yards in Amore land. 10-yard touchdown out of the backfield from Gannon Winker. Nice start, Mike.
Great start by Western Oregon, especially with, unfortunately, Jacob Pruitt not playing this game, but Fernando Salazar playing center, and a great drive for them to start with a banged-up offensive line. Short
kick. Oaklanders might have a chance to get some great field position, turning it upfield. And if he keeps it in bounds, Mike, he was going for pay dirt. Very, very nice return coming from, it looks like 9, Michael, of what I could see, but I couldn't, again, we're kind of struggling with our eyesight.
I thought it was Faison.
Faison? Gotcha.
Yeah, Faison, excuse me. I'll get this out eventually. Faison Knight, the wide receiver, able to get a great kick return for Lincoln. And they had decent field position to start last time. We'll see if they can get a drive going, as they have had struggles this season. But every once in a while, they can pick something up and learn something against a weakness they can find the other team, and see if they can continue that as the game goes along.
The Oaklanders are going to need to get something out of the quarterback position today to keep Western Oregon's offense off the field, as it is a handoff. Cameron Burson handing it off, but no yards there for Housley.
And again, up the middle, they're going to keep trying to work the middle of the defense. Western Oregon's strengths being the outside linebackers, trying to stay away from them right now.
My apologies, David 2 with the handoff. Picking up a yard, ball on the Oaklanders 37, trailing 7-0 on Senior Day here in Monmouth, Oregon on KWVT Channel 17. Pressure being shown on the right side by Parnell. Parnell looking to get to the left-hander, and it's an easy sack. I mean, you could see that one coming literally from before the moment of the snap, Michael. Parnell
like
was
I said,
on
the last play, they're trying to keep it up the middle to stay away from Parnell and Curtis Anderson on the edges, but Parnell just jumped that snap, perfect timing, able to get in the backfield and get a sack for himself. Great season so far by Jalen Parnell, especially at the home games. He's done very, very well here.
Parnell will be looked to a year from now to be probably the unquestioned leader. You'll also see Anthony Mack Jr. out there, number 47, going to be a very, very special unit. Joey Sinclair will be returning a year from now. Now on 3rd and 15 on the 32-yard line. Pressure again being shown, and Parnell all over it again, back-to-back sacks.
Yeah, Parnell looking to have himself a day right now, able to get back there. Decent blocking, but no quick. No, the pocket collapsed right away, and yeah, 2 players able to get to him. Lovelace there as well. But Parnell with 2 sacks back-to-back. Special teams for Lincoln out to go again. The Oaklanders punting the ball again, and you can see if Western Oregon can set themselves up with decent field position, as it looks like they will.
Ochoa going to have his second kick here in the first quarter. Parnell, Mike, I got to tell you, on the road, he's one of those guys, I think he's very well respected and liked, but very quiet, slightly sullen, and is to himself.
Thinking about the game.
Yeah, he's a very focused football player. Ochoa, high snap. He's in trouble, and it's going to be Ochoa having to eat it, and Western's going to get the ball back. Curtis Anderson with one of his signature plays on special teams, taking down the punter. A nice moment. He's obviously playing it up to the crowd.
Yeah, after being Special Teams Player of the Week last week, he's looking to start another one again. The punter had a chance to punt it there, but didn't know if he was going to get blocked, decided to hold the ball. And Curtis Anderson, Curtis on the spot, excuse me. Able to get a big tackle there, setting up Western Oregon with great field position on the 20-yard line of the Oaklanders.
Already up a touchdown. The Wolves looking to separate themselves early. Obviously, this fledgling program from California has gone through a season of growing pains, and it might get a little bit more painful. Land up the middle. Again, churning. He'll pick up maybe 2 or 3. But you can tell the signature of this game today is going to be to establish the offensive line play and probably get Omari Land over 100 yards so he has 1,000 yards on the season.
Devon Brown, Quindarius Coles, the defensive tackles for Lincoln have to step up a little bit more to see if they can stop the ball going right up the middle. They were able to hold it to a 4-yard gain there. Western Oregon with a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 from the 18-yard line.
Hickok in the slot, Thomas Wright Jr. on the bottom of your screen. Land will get it again. Left side, nothing there.
And as you see, again, trying to get up the middle, trying to establish a run game. They've done well so far this game, but Lincoln is stepping up. They're not going to just give the game away. They're still playing every player out there. Very good players in high school for sure, and now they're trying to step up at this level. Setting up a 3rd down.
Not an easy idea, Michael. I mean, when you're, it's just so new. They don't carry a lot of players in the roster. Pressure being shown.
And again, you see that frustration from Lincoln, trying to jump the snap there. Early Jarek trying to jump the snap. Unfortunately, it's a mental mistake at that point. And then he starts to get into it with the player in the backfield. No penalty on that, but you can see the frustration from Lincoln. A long season for them. They did just arrive late to the game today, late to the field. They're still getting warmed up, I would say. But they're still 3rd and 2, and they do have a chance to get a stop here. Hold Western Oregon to possibly a field goal. Power
formation being shown here by Arn Ferguson, and the offense here seeing the 2 yards that they need to pick up, man in motion. And again, a fumble, a bad relay from the snap to Winker, a penalty flag down, and everything that could go wrong there, I think, went wrong.
Yeah, you see the linebacker jump over the center. I think he may have got a face mask as he did that, but we'll see what the call is on the field.
Nothing quite about that looked right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. He timed it perfectly, but the only thing he was able to grab, I want to say that was Trey Haskins, I believe. I apologize, I couldn't see the number there, but did time it perfectly. It looked like a water boy type play, running and jumping over the offensive line. But unfortunately, he didn't get a shoulder pad or a jersey or anything, got a face mask. So 1st down and goal for Western Oregon.
Land maybe getting his 2nd touchdown in his many possessions. Land will get it. He'll turn, spin away, get down to about the 2-yard line.
But a great job by the offensive line for Western Oregon. Anthony Orlando, Vilama Hafoko, Josh McKee, able to keep running up the middle with that offensive line. Again, Lincoln does not have an extended roster, so you're working those defensive line, working those linebackers, exhausting them as the game goes along, and Western Oregon will be able to pull this one away.
Austin Goldstein throughout the season, Mike number 43 on the right side of the line, I think has earned his playing time. A very, very serviceable blocking tight end. Man in motion behind him. They'll give the ball to Land. Land goes off the right side. Touchdown, Wolves. It's Omari Land's 2nd touchdown on the 2nd possession of the game. Wolves up 13-0 with a penalty flag down.
I believe the penalty flag is after the play. As you see him right up the middle. Great job. Grinding as he's done all season. But we'll wait and see if there's an unsportsmanlike conduct or anything like that. See if it'll affect the field goal position, extra point position. You like how Western Oregon's come out. The last couple of weeks they've had, last few games to be honest, they've had come out a little bit slow. But this game, they're coming out ready to score.
Omari Land started the game with 9 touchdowns, now 11 on the season. Double digits for number 23, Omari Land, becoming a fixture in this offense and something to really build upon. They're going to assess it on the kickoff, Michael?
Looks like they're going to assess it on the kickoff.
And what was the call?
Unsportsmanlike conduct. I think it was some players talking back and forth there. Western Oregon got the bad end of that one.
Understood. Cosette now back. Looking to add on his 2nd point of the game and a 2nd extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Wolves up 14-0 here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT Channel 17. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. If you are just joining us, Western Oregon has come out with an explosive and dynamic offense today. Amari Land obviously running the ball effectively. Gannon Winker only having to pass the ball twice, though, for 52 yards and 2 quick scores early on in this game now, leading 14-0 over a first-time opponent in the Lincoln Oaklanders, as the kickoff was set back on the unsportsmanlike conduct, so Lincoln should get good field position. Faison has it going to the 40. He'll turn it back up. He'll get to about the 41.
And with that penalty, it sets up Lincoln with some great field position. Even though they haven't had any success thus far today, this will give them a chance to have some confidence that they can score on this drive.
We can call Faison the Night Rider tonight. As soon as those lights come on, and I have a feeling before this game's over, it'll be our only game under the lights this season, Michael. But Faison Knight is definitely, to this point, what I've seen, from them, Michael, probably their top athlete on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you see his speed, you see some strength from him. Can you get him in a position where he's one-to-one, man-to-man at some point, and let him use his athletic ability to score points for Lincoln? Lincoln of California, by the way.
They are of California.
You can tell that they were the Oaklanders.
Yeah. Ball going downfield, and he's got a wide receiver. Oh, tiptoeing. Nice catch. Most positive yards we've seen today. And, Michael, I want to kind of make some changes here. I mean, I might be wrong here, but Cameron Burston is not wearing number 14, but he's wearing number 10. He is the starting quarterback.
And as you see, he has some time. He sees the hole in the zone, is able to drop it in there. Big play for Lincoln early in this game still in the first quarter with 4:25 left. Able to pick up a first down back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 for the Oaklanders.
First time we have seen Lincoln in Western's territory, and the lefty goes back. Now he wants to tuck and run. He's got a room and got a path to go. Ball is out. Curtis Anderson picks it up. Opportunistic. Unfortunately, you cannot carry the ball that way, and Curtis Anderson might be having one of those days, Michael, that you just, you know what? It's probably the end of his football career for all intents and purposes, and he's having a great start to it.
Yeah, you see Robertson looking down the field, has a chance. No pressure up the middle, but Mack able to knock the ball out. Curtis Anderson right there to pick the ball up. Just as it looks like the Oaklanders have some momentum, success going. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball. Western Oregon 1st and 10 to see if their offense can add some points to the scoreboard.
2 sacks already from Parnell. He was in on that tackle that jarred the ball loose with Mack. And then Anderson picks it up. Gannon Winker now getting his 3rd possession in this first quarter and already on top, 14-0. Loggins will go into the backfield, and Western Oregon maybe gets to tinker with the playbook as they'll go over the middle and just behind him, and it looks like it's caught. They're saying catch. Damian Hickok. Now back judge saying incomplete. Side judge says complete, but it looks like it's going to be ruled incomplete.
And if we could see it on the replay, it looks close. He does have control, but I do see a little bobble at the end. Never saw it touch the ground, but there is an injury on the play. You see the player getting up right now.
Bouncing back up. And it's a senior, Michael.
Yeah, and he's going to have to come off the field, unfortunately, for a play, as at least a play.
Orlando. We got a chance to meet his parents. An emotional day for their son, but looks like they're just checking him out. Looks like he's fine. He bounced back up.
Making sure he's okay, and Western Oregon back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 after an incomplete pass down the middle of the field. And again, a depleted offensive line. You see how much it'll affect Western Oregon right now.
Loggins get it. No, Winker, he drops it. He's in trouble. And Michael, just like you said today, this field still could be interesting with the amount of rain that's fallen in the last couple of days, over 3 inches here in the Willamette Valley. It's tough sledding.
Yeah, and again, that run option, sometimes you're trying to decide as the quarterback, do I let it go, do I let it go? Sometimes you think you're going to let it go. Fortunately for Winker, he's able to get the ball back. He sets up a very long 3rd and 13 for Western Oregon.
Ball back on the 35, Michael. Going to have to move this ball all the way to the 45-yard line to pick up the first down. Anthony Orlando will be heading back to the Bay Area after this season and will be coaching at his high school. But here we are in 3rd down. Play underneath the Loggins, and great fundamental gang tackling there on Western Oregon's offense, as the Oaklanders have really come here with a very, very aggressive style today.
Yeah, just trying to throw it to the running back out of the back. Looks like Dion White, great job by him reading the running back. It's his man and the man-to-man coverage, able to hold him to a short gain of 1 yard. It's 4th and 11 for Western Oregon. It looks like the special teams are out.
Logan Reese with his first punt, now that Andrew Gross is not able to. Andrew Gross, the most prolific and best punter in the history of Western Oregon University football, but it'll be Reese kicking it away. And has to say, not his best opening salvo, Michael, as it looks like it traveled roughly about 12 yards.
Looks like it was somebody that's punting for the first time in live action and thought about that one a little bit too long. Great thing for Lincoln right now as they're trying to stay in this game, able to force a short punt, and again, they will have great field position as they've had for most of this game so far, seeing if they can change this and get some momentum and some scoring.
Logan's now at the training table. He seems to be nursing some sort of minor leg injury at this point. Andrew Gross, Michael, actually came from Corbin University as a soccer player and was converted into and became the best punter in the history of Western Oregon. We wish him the best on his new endeavors, but this will be his final day in front of the home crowd. Maybe we'll be holding punts or holding kicks later on. As the Oaklanders go back to work, Tua gets the ball. He'll run off the right side. He's got room, and he might be able to cut it up, Michael, and it looks like that's going to be a first down. And again, that field position for the second time, they might have some momentum that they can retain the football.
Yeah, the players look really happy on the field. They're having some confidence right now as they were trying to pass the ball quite a bit earlier, and they had that tear by Jalen Parnell where he had 2 sacks. But right now they're keeping the ball on the ground, working their way down the field. Also not letting Western Oregon have the ball back so they can score again. As you see them taking their time, calling the play, up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 for the Oaklanders.
Deepest field position today for Lincoln. Design play for the quarterback. Burston will run. He'll get 8 or 9 yards. And again, they are starting to feel themselves a little bit.
Yeah, they have that confidence as they run a quarterback keeper, old school, right to the quarterback. They have 10 blockers in front of him, and he decides to get to the outside, picks up 5 yards. A lot of running for 5 yards. But again, inside the 30-yard line for the Oaklanders, is Western Oregon's defense looking for an answer right now, trying to continue the game they've had so far, causing turnovers and holding them to 0 points.
Last time we were here, Michael, Simon Frazier, they did keep him out of the end zone. I know it's a prideful moment, but Lincoln now on the doorstep knocking to see if they can get this down to a 1-score game here in the first quarter. QB sneak again. Oh, the lefty, the wily lefty.
But there is a flag on the play. He may have been over the line of scrimmage. We'll see shortly what it is. As you see him running out to the outside, I don't think he was beyond the line of scrimmage, so maybe a formation. We'll see shortly.
An eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, and unfortunate for the Oaklanders as they're trying to get something going here, having some success, but penalties for both of these teams are dire. You cannot have any penalties because penalties have destroyed both of these teams as the season has gone along. When they're in a game or have a lead or having some consistency, the turnovers are huge. Those 5 to 10 yards to 15 yards on the really terrible ones really do affect these offenses.
That's a great call, Michael. I think one of the things that you'll see in the offseason, certainly for both these programs, but certainly for Western Oregon, is that penalty and being able to convert on 3rd down. Here we are on 2nd and 9. Path was broken up. Burston took a huge hit in the backfield by Mack.
And Minetti right there on the, it was either Sinclair or Minetti, right there as the receiver's going to catch the ball, able to knock that one away, and sets up a 3rd and 9 for the Oaklanders. Inside the 30-yard line, I haven't seen their kicker as much this year, so I'm not sure what their range is. I'll say their range because we had a female kicker in the last game. But
that was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, no, she was fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah.
But the important thing is, can they get a few more yards to at least get in field goal range right now, or pick up a 1st down?
Have to move it to the 20-yard line. Burston now going to run on his own. He's got a path. A great open field tackle, and you can't teach it any better than that, Michael. Didn't go up top and went for the legs.
Yeah, Louis Vicino Jr. able to, you think he's going to get there, bigger quarterback, but just got enough of his legs to take him down. Holding to a very short gain, 4th and 9 again here.
Offense stays on the field, Michael.
Offense does stay on the field. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. 11 seconds left, though. It might be next quarter they decide.
Very, very spirited first quarter here on Northwest Television Sports. We'll go into the first quarter timeout. Wolves leading 14-0 here on KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back. It will be the Oaklanders, 4th and 9 as we open up the second quarter on Northwest Television Sports. I'm Matt Palumbo alongside Michael Brown on Senior Day, November 13th, 2021. Michael, it's hard to believe another season is about ready to go in the books.
Yeah, it's a short one for us this year with just 4 home games. Hoping for more next year. But as you see, Lincoln with a 4th and 9, trying to pick up a
Curtis
first down.
Anderson already showing the pressure. He's in the backfield. He gets into the face. It's underneath. There's going to be a penalty flag, Mike. And I'll tell you, I think this is a weird call, to be honest. I think you could call either one of these things. The ball was not catchable. But I think it's going to go against Western Oregon for defensive pass interference.
We'll see shortly as the refs talk it over. And it does go against the defense there as Lincoln able to continue their drive. Just 1 yard rushing in that first quarter, 24 yards passing, but able to still work their way down the field as there's been penalties and a decent drive for them on this drive.
I think you just nailed it at the end of the first quarter, Michael. You just said, look, this is the stuff that cannot happen. You literally are prolonging a drive that with the pressure you would have thought, that maybe Curtis Anderson would have been able to get that sack without the defensive penalty. 2 gets the handoff on the right side. He'll run the ball inside the 10-yard line, and the Oaklanders are knocking on the door to score.
And all they need is some success. Every team that's had the season they are can be front runners, and they see the end zone there. If they can get in there with just some runs up the middle, it'll open up this game to them and try to ruin Senior Day for Western Oregon. I don't see this happening necessarily. Western Oregon's looked very, very good so far on offense, but they want to stay in the game for sure by scoring on this drive.
Twister McComas, number 97, shifting on the defensive line. He also a senior today, looking to see if he can disrupt this play as the Oaklanders looking to get on the scoreboard. And they are, Michael. This is going to go into the end zone. I think on second effort, they get it just short. I thought he was going to actually get in there untouched. It was a great block, and he made the cutback. 2 almost got into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get there, like you said, but you were wrong on that one. As the ball is going up the middle, you see he's making some players miss. A lot of missed tackles on there for Western Oregon defense, but a great job for Lincoln. 1st and goal from the 1 yard line, seeing if they can punch it into the end zone.
Ulrich with the tackle, staving off what could be an inevitable touchdown. 3rd down and 1, Michael. They have to punch in here. Actually, they give them first down, goal to goal. Haven't changed it on the scoreboard. Fumble on the snap. Ball's down. It looks like the Oaklanders are going to retain possession. But this has been the story of the day. I don't know if it's fundamentals or if it's like you said, Michael. It could be quite slippery out there still.
Slippery. The ball doesn't get to the quarterback there. Just straight to the ground, see if he can catch it. But again, let's see if we have some stoppage on the field. Might be a timeout. I'm not quite certain. But again, it's just, it's these little things, Michael, when you are starting up a program. I mean, I don't even know how you do that. I mean, it's amazing to me. It's almost like out of thin air. Like, they decide to have a program, and it's almost like it's an open tryouts. I mean, people that went to school there probably had no intentions or had any idea that it was even going to be available to them. And you can just tell, very small roster, not a lot ability to substitute people out. So yeah, it's a real team. There's no Bishop Sycamore stuff going on here, but everybody's got to double check with the new schools these days. But they're playing well. You have some talent out there, and they're working their way down the field, looking to stay in this game right now. 2nd and goal from the 2 yard line.
Losing a yard on that play. Burson hands it off the right side. Jalen Parnell, I'll tell you right now, it's now it's been 5 quarters that they have not seen a team go into the end zone.
And you see, he looks like he thinks he's got the end zone there, but Jalen Parnell able to wrap up at the ankles. Solid tackle there. 3rd and goal now from the 2.5 yard line. see if Western Oregon's defense can hold them to a field goal here, or at least a fourth down to see what Lincoln decides to do.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, Simon Frazier held out of the end zone. So far, the Oaklanders not able to get in. Burston and 2 in the backfield, needing just 2 yards. Burston now flush, looking for a lane, looking for a man. He throws it to the back of the end zone and just out of the reach of the intended target, Michael. But this defense is stout right now for Western. They don't want anybody in the end zone.
Yeah, 8 men in the box. They decide to go man-to-man. Nothing open right away. Quarterback is thinking about trying to run, but right away sees a man in the back. But that hustle he has, that hurry that he has behind him, just doesn't let him settle to get the ball to the receiver. Throws it over his head. Now you have a 4th and goal inside the 5-yard line for Lincoln. And Western Oregon's defense, the few seniors that are out there trying to make a name for themselves again. See if they can stop him. Hold him to 0 points here.
Wolves' ears are pinned back right now, and I think they are going to come with the pressure. Here it is. Hands go up from the Oaklanders. There's going to be an indication of touchdown, but there is no indication that there's a touchdown yet. And finally it comes out, and Lincoln is on the scoreboard. Touchdown for 2, and the Oaklanders now trailing 14-6.
Yeah, just right up the gut. It's not a sure thing by any means. Just reaching, trying to work his way in there, and just got to the goal line. Touchdown for Lincoln.
Well, I'll tell you, I say touchdowns. I'm with you, Michael. If you would have been able to watch the offensive line, there was real enjoyment. You don't really honestly see that. I mean, it's a big deal that they're on the scoreboard. They understand that every little thing as they're going forward is going to mean something. Extra point to come. Play clock now down to 3, 2, and we are going to end up. We'll keep it here, Michael. Again, this is where it's one of those interesting things. There was such elation from the offensive line that they couldn't get in the special teams unit to get set up in time with even a 40-second play clock. It was very, very it was comical, but I felt happy for them because you know how hard they fought just to get to this point.
Yeah, in the last 4 out of 5 games, they've scored no touchdowns. So this for them in itself is a great job. David, too, graduate transfer from San Jose State University, so he's had some D1 experience, probably one of the better players on their team, able to work his way behind those offensive line and get inside the end zone. Great drive for them. They were able to hold on to the ball for quite a while, keep the defenders from Western Oregon getting tired. Great job. See if they can stay in this game here and this extra point to come.
That unfortunate, Michael, that pass interference that kind of extended the drive for the Oaklanders ends up being to the Wolves' demise as we're awaiting the extra point to see if it will be a 7-point game. Ochoa will be the kicker. Looking for a clean snap, good hold, and to get it through the uprights to make it a 7-point game for the visitors. It is a good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Oaklanders now on the board, trailing 14-7 here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo, Michael Brown on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT, Channel 17. Michael, I got to tell you something. To only be down 7 points and be 0 for 4 on third down conversions is a testament to just how hard this team from California is playing, as Anderson will come under the kick, get in his own 15, looking for a blocker, turns it up the middle, out to the side, hits the 40, looks at the 50, only needed one blocker, and he had people out in front of him with London Smalley. He looked to go for pay dirt. I'll tell you, Curtis Anderson's having some fun playing his last college football game.
Yeah, looking to get another special teams player of the week. You see him, he has some blockers up front. I thought he was gone at that point, but a great job of special teams by Isaiah Rios from the Lincoln Oaklanders, able to catch up to Curtis right at about the 50-yard line, setting up 1st and 10. Both teams have had excellent field position on each drive. Lincoln able to take advantage of it last time. We'll see what Western Oregon can do right now.
Winker and Land will go out in from the shotgun. 7 yards deep, number 23, Omari Land. You'll have Jaron Ford, Thomas Wright Jr. Land will get it. Nice blocking again, running off the left side. And Omari Land you talk about it all the time, and I've seen every game except for 2 this year, Michael. He's not an easy person to tackle.
Not rarely. Rarely is he easy to tackle. As long as he can get past that first little bit of that 1 yard area, he's making plays. There's been some teams, Central Washington especially, that have a lot of penetration. I think their defensive tackle, I can't think of his name right now, I apologize, but I think he'll be the defensive player of the year in the GNAC. He was able to control the line, but if he can get outside of that, it's usually good news for Western Oregon.
Gonna get maybe a block in the back there, Michael. They tried to do the bunch wide receiver there, 3 there, tried to get the pick set up to see if they could get Jaron Ford loose, but did not work out. It will bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looks like a little run option up the middle, and they pass to the outside, but again, great job by the defense setting up a 3rd and 5, like you said. Western Oregon back to the line of scrimmage.
Probably don't want to see Logan Reese come out. I know that was a tough moment. The first punt, Michael, only 5 yards.
It's just warming up.
I know, just warming up. Got to give him a shot, you know. It's an emergency situation. Winker now looking deep down the middle, has a man open. And he was actually looking for the punter, Reese, on the play. Maybe a late hit there. But again, this game has got the feel of Lincoln does not want to go anywhere. And I think you've said this to me probably 100 times over the last 4 years, Michael. You don't want to give a team any belief that they can stay in a football game like this.
Never, ever. Anything that happens, again, all of these players were good somewhere at some point, and when they get a chance to, relive the glory days, sure,
yeah.
They're gonna step up at that point.
Reese now high snap. Look at the athleticism. He gets it, and a much better punt this time. And they might be able to pin this one on the 1, Michael. And who touches it? I thought it was Curtis Anderson. I'm sorry. Maybe I just want to see him. But what a great comeback for Reese on his second punt. End over end, and pins the Oaklanders down on the 1 yard line.
A punter may not have been able to jump up and grab that ball in the sky like he did, using his athleticism. And then, again, he didn't get a chance to think about it on this play. Booted it down the field inside the 1 yard line. Great job by special teams of Western Oregon. Now you have to see if Lincoln can get out of this hole being at the 1 yard line, try to tie this game up, or Western Oregon's going to be able to use their defense to solidify their lead a little bit more, possibly getting a safety or a defensive score.
This is very dangerous territory, Michael, for Lincoln right now, because they have kind of shown that the offense isn't very dynamic, and when you have pressure coming from Twister McComas, you got Thomas Mack Jr. out there, you've got Jalen Parnell, Sinclair, Anderson now coming up, Minninitti. Everybody is coming up onto this line, and they are going to show pressure, I think, throughout the first couple plays, as the running back, Michael, is literally what? Foot, maybe 2 steps from being out of the end zone.
So we shall see shortly.
Yeah. Now 5 on the clock. Anderson comes, and the safety might have happened there, but he just missed it. But Curtis Anderson, it's one of those things where he probably, Michael, when he saw the tape, was licking his chops. He's like, this is a day I get to go out and play football and have as much fun as possible today.
Yeah, in all seasons, he's loved to try to time the snap, get up to the line of scrimmage with some momentum, and try to make a play in the backfield. You see him get into the backfield there with the rest of the defense. Again, setting up another 2nd and 10 from inside the 1 yard line.
Anderson's going to come up again, Mike, on the right side. Parnell stays in the middle. Quarterback's in trouble, but he is able to get it away. Minninity's going to make the tackle around the 4 yard line.
But you do see that flag on the field.
And you know how lucky that throw was there from not just going straight back to the end zone. That's pick 6 written all over it.
For sure. We'll see what the penalty is. There may have been somebody lined up in the neutral zone there, or somebody offsides on the defense.
Curtis Anderson, Michael, again, he's so anxious.
Yeah, so anxious. Again, trying to time the snap when he's getting momentum. Almost like an Arena League receiver trying to run right up to the line of scrimmage as the ball is being snapped. Unfortunately, this season has caught him a few times. But, again, only a 5 yard penalty there. It's still 2nd and 5 with 9:50 left in the second quarter. 2nd and 5 from inside.
They're going to make it 4, Mike. We're going to get a timeout. We'll keep it here, Michael. I got to tell you something. I think you and I had different theories about this game. I'm impressed, to be perfectly honest, with seeing a team for the first time that's never played at this level, nor have they ever had a program with their composure. A couple players have gotten a little feisty, but that's just to be expected. It's a football game.
I mean, no disrespect, but you bad news bears type situation where you have a squad that hasn't had there's no prestige, there's nothing there for anybody to look at and say this team's going to be the champion every year. But they're players. They're players out there busting their chops, trying to get everything going. And again, you see in a game where they have some success, they start to feel it. They start getting it going.
Let's go, D.
And but it can be shut down really fast. Again, Western Oregon's defense, if they cause a turnover here, it'll put their heads down very quickly, the Oaklanders, and they're back to that losing mentality. But right now, they have a drive going, just 5 yards there by a penalty, but that can turn to 10 to 20 very shortly. We shall see. That's my word of the day, my phrase of the day, I guess.
It was like my word last Friday when I met the police officer in Nebraska. You seem agitated, sir.
You seem agitated.
Well, right now the Oaklanders have dug themselves a hole after Reese pins the Oaklanders back deep. Burston now on the pass. It's short and it's incomplete. Michael now very dangerous, very dangerous. 3rd and 4 inside your own 5 or on your own 6-yard line. And really, you do have the room now to punt the ball, but you cannot make a mistake here. You've got to do something that either gets the first down or, keeps the ball away from the defense.
Just like that last play with a short crossing route and nothing that's going to really cause them any trouble. The only person that can catch that ball on that play was the receiver. No defender around, but unfortunately it's a low pass, setting up a 3rd and about 6 to get a first down for the
Burston
Oaklanders.
now will have a 4 wide receiver set. And again, Western wants to show all sorts of pressure. Parnell coming from the outside, Anderson up the middle. And everything that you could do right there was done right defensively. They showed the look. Mininini breaks up the pass. And now very, very interesting opportunity here for Western.
Yeah, you really did like what Western Oregon did. Again, the blitz looks are scary sometimes. Again, how they're timing it to try to get right at the line of scrimmage as the ball's being snapped. But they were clean there, able to get pressure right away. Doesn't give their quarterback enough time to find a receiver. He's throwing it anxiously, and as you see, a result of incomplete pass with the punter deep in the end zone when they've had pressure the last couple of times on the open field. This is backed up, so we shall see.
They're showing pressure now.
And there might be 12 players on the defense. Delay of game.
Another delay of game, and this is costly again, Michael. Again, you're moving them back. Now you put.
Well, some punters like to be inside the 2 instead of right at the 5-yard line.
Well, look at Ochoa right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where he's got his feet, where I can see right now, he's out of bounds. If he were to take that, it would be a safety, right? If he steps out.
If he steps back 1 inch.
So it's dangerous. Gets it away. Sinclair going to get a chance to maybe get under this. Again, he'll step away. Oh, plays a little bit of decoy. Sinclair now out to the right at the 30, turns to the 25, 20, looking for a blocker, 10, 5, all the way down to the 3-yard line. And I will tell you, you want to talk about playing a game of cat and mouse, and we reference this. Reminds you of Paul Revis a little?
Oh, right away. He's the defense, the special teams of the Oaklanders doesn't think anything's going to happen. But as he gets that ball, uses his speed to get to that sideline, and he has blockers set up all the way down inside the 5-yard line. And a great setup for Western Oregon to score some more points here.
I mean, a great history of the defensive backfield. Curtis Anderson now is just all sorts of geeked on the sideline. And Joey Sinclair is basically going to be the one that's going to be recognized as probably the heir apparent to Curtis Anderson.
Oh, most definitely. He's very athletic, has some strength, very much has some speed, and that will be the future of the special teams and the safety position.
Winker will give it to Land. No, Winker sneaking it, and he's going to be tripped up, and he is tackled out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to run up the middle. Amari is the go-to person on this situation. But Winker decides to keep it, almost has that corner. Defender able to get a foot, just catch a foot, slow it down his momentum, and the rest of the defense rallies to take him down for a very short gain. They're setting up a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Amari Land might get a 3rd of his touchdown total here on this possession, Michael. 42 scores for the Wolves today. looking for his 12th touchdown, running off the left side, churning, and I think second effort, Omari Land gets drug in.
It looks like
look
he's
at
short.
that. Can you look at Omari Land? He just does not. And look at him. He's just a tough guy. I'll just say it. He's not a fake tough guy. He's a tough guy.
Toughing it all the way up to the 1 yard line, picking up about 4 yards there. Unfortunately, not able to push it through with the offensive line. A good hold at the line, at the goal line for the Oaklanders defense, but it does set up 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line.
Now I want to see if Omari Land can fly. I want to see if he can jump over the entire offensive and defensive line. A la Walter Payton. Big pressure being shown by the Oaklanders. Stumbling. And it's going to be dependent if his knee was down, Michael, and they are signaling knee down. And here comes a penalty flag, and I don't know where this is going to go. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the most likely call here.
Yeah, it looks like he has the gap there.
Oh, he's
yeah,
down. He's down,
knee
Mike.
down right at the 1 yard line again. And now we have to see who the penalty is on. Don't see either team moving just yet.
This ball moves back. It'll be interesting if they decide to go or they kick. I think they're going to end up kicking if they don't. But the ball has not moved.
Huge mistake for Lincoln on that play.
Was going to bring up 4th and 1, Mike.
4th and 1 at the goal line. Now it'll be 1st and goal at the 1 yard line.
So very, very, again, it's one of those things you were hung up on. And I think you had the right thing. It's like, gosh, you just can't have those penalties if you want to sustain momentum. Land will get it. Land again, stop, but again, second effort. I think he falls this time on the goal line, but Western Oregon seems pretty content. They're just going to hand it to him 3 more times, in my opinion.
Yeah, again, it's right up the middle. A-gap, just trying to get a touchdown right up the middle, but Davon Brown, Quindarius Coles, Jarek, good, and the rest of the defensive line for Lincoln, able to hold them up there. But again, 3 more tries from where we're at right now. Looks good for Western Oregon, but also you got to give Lincoln credit for holding them up this long.
Land will be on the right side of Winker. 6'4", freshman quarterback getting his first start, and he is going to pass fade route out to London Smalley. Smalley, though, just could not corral that pass, but a good idea on that play.
The pass was to him, a little bit high, a little bit behind, but man-to-man fade route out there, but couldn't come up with it. Now it is 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line. About 6 or 7 play from about this position.
I know you're quite familiar with this. I mean, he's not Marshawn Lynch, but you could just give the ball to number 23. Let him have.
I've always thought it was safer to give it the ball right up the middle all the time.
Yeah, just give him some Skittles and let him run it in. There it is, Omari Land. He stopped again. And again, Michael, I'm impressed all the way with the competitive nature of this Oaklanders. And look at, they're having fun. And they're probably going to get penalized right now.
Yep,
and here
there
it
goes.
is.
There it goes.
And it's too bad. I understand they're enjoying it, but you can't do it.
It's the unfortunate part of not having success as the season goes along. When you get a taste of it, just that part where I think there was an old-timey thing, act like you've done it before.
Oh, I mean, like Barry Sanders. I score, I hand you the referee, you have the football.
It's unfortunate. Again, it's just the excitement. I don't think it's anything malicious necessarily.
Oh, no, as I said, I told you, I've enjoyed their competitive spirit.
I don't like to be the old guy ever on these things, but there's a time and place for those things. You had one more down to stop him, but now another round of downs for Western Oregon to try to score inside the 1 yard line.
Michael, I know you're off the grid, but I know you're getting advertisements from AARP. Don't fool people. You're getting there. Winker now gonna give it.
I got 10
maybe
years.
There he goes underneath. And look at this, Michael. I don't know if we've had a touchdown.
There is a penalty on the field.
From a tight end this season.
There is a penalty on the field.
Cade Hustler.
Cade?
It's Cade Hustler.
Yeah. My apologies.
Well, it's a part of this offense I've never quite understood, Michael. Like I know you got him out there to block, but sometimes you gotta find them. They're open.
I'm waiting to see what the laundry is for. I don't see the special teams are out, so it may have been a late hit. Roughing the passer, yeah.
And they'll tack it on the ensuing kickoff. Third touchdown for the afternoon. First touchdown pass for Winker. Going to Hustler on the 1-yard touchdown.
Hustler, Hustler.
Kick is up, and it is good, and the Wolves now leading by 2 touchdowns, 21-7 here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT, Channel 17.
Season to say Hustler, Hustler. Do you remember that one? Legitimately though, they needed to pass that ball, the one to Smalley, just to open up the middle again.
Yeah.
I meant to say that. There's just so much stuff going on every single time.
We're not used to seeing you guys up here this late. Michael Brown. Western Oregon getting out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter, only to give up a nice touchdown to the Oaklanders, and then Western Oregon returning the favor on the 1-yard touchdown pass from Winker to Hustler, and now 21-7. Short kickoff here for the Wolves on the penalty. And probably the right play right there, Michael, for the Oaklanders was just to down that. Make sure that you get the possession, start over with the touchback.
Well, when your blocker right in front of you is saying, don't go, you shouldn't go.
Don't go.
You don't have blockers in
Do
front
not
of you.
pass go. Do not collect $200. I got you, Michael. Right now, Western Oregon enjoying this senior day so far, leading 21-7. Again, I think, Michael, the story of this game right now is just how competitive Lincoln is playing. And again, I know when we were leaving here a couple weeks ago and you recited that score to me, I was almost like I had a glitch. I mean, you said 92-0.
92-0 against a very good team, and some people said might have been running up the score to look better for the top 25. But again, no success the last time, but able to stay in this game right now, even though
Curtis Anderson times it again, Michael. He'll blow up that play in the backfield every time when he times it like this.
Yeah, it's either Jalen Parnell or Curtis Anderson off those edges every single time, but back in the backfield, able to get a big tackle for a loss.
Michael, I think you were telling me in that game, too, against Central Washington, that they had 15 or 16 different guys run the ball that day.
Yeah, it was
like by committee,
sure.
by committee. I mean, unbelievable.
Time to get the water boy out there to get a carry, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding. Burston now seeing pressure again, but a good pocket. Throws underneath, and Micaiah Lee comes underneath, and it's going to be an interception, Mike. Really well timed. He read the route, comes underneath, and gets an interception.
Special teams and defense by Western Oregon starting to take control. Has plenty of time there, thinks he sees the receiver open, but a very underthrown ball. Great job by Lee to get under there and make sure the refs could see that it was an interception. Getting his body under the ball, flipping over. It's no question there. Now Western Oregon with great field position again inside the 40-yard line. Able to see if they can add to this 14-point lead and see if they can take control of this game early in the second quarter.
Burston definitely has eyes for Faison Knight. Knight definitely the intended target there, but Micaiah Lee, again, a very bright future for the defensive backfield here at Western. Land now off the right side, trying to cut it up. Late flag coming in, and Land actually, Michael, since the first quarter, last couple of possessions, has had really, really tough time finding a lane to run.
Well, I don't think they're letting him run anymore. They're putting more defenders up in the box, trying to see, and then Land has to try to get to the outside. His only option at that point. And this time we'll see what the penalty is on the field. I believe a hold on the outside.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. Penalties declined. Second down.
Declined. Interesting.
Josh McKee, offensive lineman, 6'3", 340-pound redshirt freshman from Brentwood, California, and Liberty.
Yeah, but they decide to decline it, so it's 2nd and 10 for Western Oregon here.
Hey, look, coaches are new to this too. I mean, there are all sorts of things, that you're going to have to look at as the season ends today for them as well. Winker now, he's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to stay behind the line of scrimmage. He's throwing to the end zone. Going up is Jaron Ford, and Ford will catch it at the 1-yard line. What a nice play for him. I mean, it's, again, Winker takes the time and makes the throw.
Yeah, he has a chance to run, but he sees a receiver open down the field, throws it way up in the air, and great job by Ford there to make sure he gets his hand under that ball, doesn't let it hit the ground. Man-to-man out there. First down for Western Oregon inside the 1-yard line again. We've been on this 1-yard line quite a bit in the second quarter for both teams.
Making, yeah, kind of like real estate down there at this particular point.
Expensive real estate. Everybody wants to be there.
Loggins now 7 yards deep is going to be the single running back. He'll have a blocking back in front of him. Winker now underneath center. They'll hand it to Loggins off the left side. He'll go to the right. Again, pushing, and the hands are up. Touchdown, Wolves. Dominique Loggins, 1-yard touchdown, and the Wolves now up by 3 scores.
Yeah, Loggins gets the ball, hits the 1-yard line, a little bit of a stalemate, but a great job by the Western Oregon offensive line, pushing. Another touchdown for Western Oregon as they extend their lead. The extra point to come and make it a 3-touchdown lead, 21 points.
Kosak coming out for his 4th extra point, looking for his 4th point of the game. Looking for a clean snap, hold, and kick. 2 out of 3, make it 3 out of 3. Kick is good. Wolves up now 28-7 on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back from the break here on Northwest Television Sports. Football better than diamond rings. Yeah, Mike and I making references to the movie Wildcats. Again, Michael dating just how old we are. Thank you.
I mean, a classic's a classic. Anybody could have seen that at any time.
And anybody has the app HBO, you can certainly watch that, Michael, on the deep webs. Here we go. Wolves kicking it off to the Oaklanders now. It'll be a squib kick. Michael picked up by the Oaklanders at the 20-yard line. It's not Faison Knight this time.
Looks like Damon Short able to get the ball, try to cross the field there with that return, able to pick up a couple of yards on that short kick. Again, setting themselves up at about the 31-yard line. And now it's important for them to see if they can just work the clock and work their way down the field. Important not to give Western Oregon the ball back. Their passing game, Western Oregon's passing game, able to start to come together. And they need points. Very important to stay in this game with some points. They've been feisty, very feisty this game. We'll see what happens here.
Haven't been able to call his name much today, but number 47, Anthony Mack Jr. again. Future bright. I don't know if he's always going to be a linebacker for this team, but we've basically chronicled throughout the season, north, south, east, and west, that he is probably going to have a very, very bright future on the defensive side of the ball. Is it a sack, Michael?
Yeah, it was a sack. The team decided to meet in the backfield. I couldn't see who it was because there was 3 defenders back there. Looks like a little bit of Mack. And a great job by the defense. Again, in the backfield, setting up a 2nd and 17 for Lincoln as Lincoln looks to be a little discombobulated.
It was tough, Michael. I mean, they got it down to that 14-7, and Western Oregon's punched it twice since then. Loggins on the 1-yard touchdown. Hustler with the 1-yard touchdown reception. Yeah, it was there for the taking for a moment, but Western Oregon going back up now, ball down, and I think it's going to be recovered by Western Oregon. I think he just took it away from Burson. Whoever has this ball for Western just took it away.
As there's a little bit of a pile there and they're deciding, but I'm pretty sure it's a very, didn't get the handoff there.
Is it Lovelace that ends up with it?
Lovelace with the ball.
Good for him.
Not able to hand the ball off. The ball just goes straight to the ground. Lovelace, great job getting down there, jumping on the ball. Another turnover for Lincoln. Great field position again for Western Oregon.
Again, Lovelace is one of just the great characters on this team. Thoroughly enjoys the game of football.
As everybody's excited to see him on the sideline there. Defense celebrated again as the offense is out there inside the 30-yard line looking to score.
Land and Winker there. Play action here. Winker now over the middle. Hickok is open. Touchdown, Wolves! Quick strike.
Very quick play on that one as Winker has plenty of time. Man-to-man over the middle. Defensive back unfortunately slips down for Lincoln. Wide open touchdown. And the Wolves looking to blow out this team today. Another score on consecutive drives.
Wyatt Harsh will hold for Cosette. Now Cosette looking for. Actually, Michael, we have a new kicker in there, I believe. No, it's Cosette, sorry. Just didn't see the armband last time. Harsh on the hold. Big snap. They get it down. Cosette will get it blocked. And Michael, if this does go back, what is the call? Because he's running and he's got every reason to believe he's going to go all the way. Woo!
Yeah, Deion White, who's been making plays this game.
Trey Hopkins, what do you get? Do you get 2 points or is it a touchdown?
That's an extra point, 2 points.
2 points?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Deion White able to pick up that block kick at about the goal line. It's a live ball at that point, and he takes it back to the house. Refs are going to talk it over just to be sure, make sure my rules are correct.
I will tell you right now, of everything in the 4 games, that's the most bizarre thing I've seen this season with you. Because everybody stopped like it was a dead ball, but you could tell once he got it, he was like, man, he was ready to run.
Well, they haven't put any points up on the scoreboard yet, so we'll see what the decision was here.
There it is, Mike. They're going up now. But they'll only see 1. There's 2.
There you go. There you go.
It's a 2-point. Is that a 2-point conversion? No.
Essentially, it's a 2-point either way if you score a touchdown, if you want to think of it that way. So It's the same if it was a block kick, a block field goal, for example. It would be a touchdown going the other way. This being an extra point, they take it back to the house. It's 2 points. If they intercept it when a team's going for 2, it'll be 2 points going the other way. So great job by the Lincoln team, who is getting beat down right now for a little bit.
And they get the ball back.
So they can get themselves right back in this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
what a strange turn of events.
But again, a great job up the middle by. You know, it looks like there was a bad snap. They didn't know if they wanted to kick it. They were trying to call their fire play or whatever play they decide to have on that botched hold. Unfortunately, he decided to kick it and just kicked it in the back of some players. And Deion White.
Well, Harsh like Reese earlier, made a great play on that snap. I mean, that thing was. I mean, he had to stand up to get it, and he had the wherewithal to get the ball back down. But Cosette ended up with a low kick. He gets blocked, and White.
And you can see it's one of those things.
All the way back.
Senior Jacob Pruitt, who's been a stalwart on the offensive line this season, not in this game, and you see some different things happening along that offensive line today.
Short kick there, Michael. Faison, Knight has it. He'll get it back out to the 30. 3 minutes and 24 seconds in a very kind of, you're right, I like your word, discombobulated. It's kind of had its ups and downs, ebbs and flows to it. And really, again, encouraging if you are going to Lincoln College. You have a football program now that has learned a lot, even in terrible defeats. And you said 4 out of the last 5 games, Michael, they haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone.
No, they haven't, and the success they've had this season have been against NAIA schools, Division III, whatever you want to call it at this point.
Yep.
But against the smaller schools, they've had some success. But Western Oregon is a formidable foe for them, but they're able to get some points against them today.
Burston now getting some pocket, getting some time. He's flushed out to his left, and he'll be hit, and he will be taken down. Anthony Mack Jr.
Anthony Mack Jr. able to get to that backfield.
Mack to the house.
And another sack for Western Oregon. Yeah, they have not had success with the quarterback trying to get to the outside. Some setup plays where they're actually running with the quarterback. But anytime there's no receivers downfield, both coverage sack and a great athletic ability of Anthony Mack to get to the outside. Anthony Mack Jr.
Yeah, he's going to be special. I'll tell you, I learned a lot about Anthony Mack Jr. when I traveled up to Ellensburg, Washington. And somebody got him pretty blindsided on a play. And, I mean, it looked like he was going to be out for the game when we went in at halftime. But got to give credit to this training staff here at Western Oregon.
Timeout. Lincoln,
they
third and final charge of the half.
We'll keep it here. They patched him up, Michael. And I'll tell you something, from the standpoint of you and I being here for the last 4 years, it's been eye-opening for me to travel with them this year, Michael. I mean, to see how much really goes into it, the things that we don't get to see day in and day out. And I give all the credit to their training staff this year. They lost their linebacking core right before the season started. They've had to deal with COVID, players coming in and out. But for the most part, no serious injuries until last week. Jacob Pruitt having a shoulder injury, unfortunately not able to start today.
Yeah, and they've been able to step up and continue what they've been trying to build all season with that offensive line. And right now it looks awesome. It looks awesome for Western Oregon.
Yeah, again, encouraging things next year. Like I said, Andrew Valadares, not a serious knee injury like we thought a few weeks ago. Valadares has eligibility, will be back with Amari Land in the backfield next year. Again, something very, very, very nice to look forward to when we get to the season of 2022 in the fall. But let's focus on the action at hand. Second down and 15. Oaklanders on their own 25, trailing 34-9. Michael, go ahead and give me a quick update there.
So LJ Lovelace with the great pressure on the quarterback as the ball is flying through the air. Curtis Anderson looking for that senior game present, unable to take that gift to the house. Second down and 10 coming up third and 15 coming up for Lincoln.
Mike, we got some rowdy fans out here. They want to take pictures with us. I don't know. We want to get in the shot here. I mean, I know we're part-time celebrities here. I think we're gonna do a selfie here. Hey, there's still football action going on.
We're watching the game at the same time. It's all good.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. Oh, everybody running on the field now. Even Michael and I,
False start. Offense.
Okay.
Number 13.
Okay. That was my
5-yard penalty. Third down.
Ball back. Looks like we have 3 minutes and 9 seconds. It'll be third and 15. Sorry, it's a very nice testament to everybody here at Western Oregon. We want to thank all of our fans. One of the first times maybe we shouldn't keep our window open, Michael, but
no,
it was great. It was great. It was a nice moment. Yeah, big moment here though for the Oaklanders, and here comes the pressure again. Mack throws it, and it could have been picked off. Burston, though, takes the big hit from Anthony Mack Jr. Mack Jr. is starting to get a real appetite for big hits.
And it's looking very, very good. I was still off a little bit from the interactive watching there, but oh no, for real though, it's the defense has been holding up except for that one drive that Lincoln was able to get down and had their chance at the 1 yard line for a few times. Western Oregon has controlled the game since then, and special teams out again for Lincoln.
Let's not, Oaklanders, don't be fooled. There's no imposter sitting on the Woo insignia. That is Joey Sinclair, and he has every intention of running one back today. Last time playing a little game, a little coy with them, and ends up driving the ball all the way down and getting it down almost to the goal line in a similar position as another penalty flag. Looks like it's going to go against Lincoln. They run out of time again.
Offside. Defense number 3. In the zone, made the offensive man react. 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
I think that's called encroachment.
Encroachment, but you saw the man on the end there for Lincoln run down the field, so it may have looked like offsides for some people. He was just giving an explanation for that.
And he got it on Curtis. So Curtis is, again, he's chomping at the bit to see if he can get it, this kid, and see if he can block one. Ball's out clean. Better punt this time, but wobbly. Sinclair, it hit a player, Michael.
It did hit a player, and that's going to be Lincoln football.
It hit Anthony Mack, I believe. He didn't even see it. Sinclair was making the signal to get away and let it hit the ground.
Yeah, they yell, Peter, 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 and he's aiming his hands like the airplane guy with the orange cone saying, don't go in this zone. But unfortunately, Western Oregon, they didn't notice that, and it'll be a turnover.
I don't know, man. I mean, recipes.
The ball was touched by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team. Automatic first down.
You know, that's one of those, you can't really fault the player on that one. It was a short punt.
Result of the play is the first down.
And unfortunately for Western Oregon, a turnover.
Strange thing, Michael. I mean, you don't really have a recipe for these games, you know, like where you look in the book and go, this is how it's going to go. I mean, just several odd events have happened in this first half, and that one again, Anthony Mack Jr. just wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time, but I wouldn't blame him at all, seriously, on that point. It's not the punt returner's fault for not letting him know. It's just a bad, unlucky play for Western Oregon. Lincoln with great field position once again, trying to see if they can put some points on with the board with 3 minutes left in this half, just a little less than 3 minutes.
They did use all their timeouts, Michael, so they are going to have to do this maybe by getting some balls and touch. Oh, look at this. Nice little... Finally, a very well-designed pattern, getting man over the middle, wide open reception, positive yardage. That will stop the clock.
Yeah, to Housley, but unfortunately they have a injury to an offensive lineman on that same place. Housley, who they started out the game throwing the ball to a couple of times, he's able to make some moves with his speed down the field, does pick up a first down, but we do have that injury on the field. And as we have a little break in the game right now, also, yeah, few players that aren't playing for Western Oregon that are seniors. Anthony Orlando, said Gross today. Just got to make sure they get their credit. Jacob Pruitt, he's out today. Orlando is playing today. Jacob Pruitt, the players that is out today. But important seniors that have led this team for the last 4 years, kind of 5 years, depending on the situation.
Joel Gallion, offensive lineman, 6'7", 338-pound junior for Lincoln, being helped off the field by the trainers. Hope everything is okay with him. Again, undermanned team, you don't want to see them lose any players, but a wonderful pass play from Burson to Housley, moving the ball now to Western Oregon's 38, and the Oaklanders threatening to score, trailing 34-9 here, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here on Northwest Television. Northwest Sports Television. Here we go, Burson now. Oh, throws behind him, Micaiah Lee, almost with his second interception.
Yeah, miscommunication somewhere on offense right there, as both defenders for Western Oregon had a better shot on that ball than the receivers did. As they change it up, it's just an incomplete pass and second down for Lincoln. Inside the 40-yard line at this point.
Again, I mean, I don't know how you gauge success, Michael, on a season like this, but I would say so far today, I would call it a success.
9 points on the board. It makes them want more now. I mean, it's a success for the first half, but they're going to want to continue what they're doing so far.
Burson now looks out to his left. He'll find Faison Knight. Knight makes a man miss, turns to the 40, looking to the 35, slips and falls, Michael, and he might have got to that first down had he not slipped.
Yeah, great job by Housley as the other receiver out on that play, getting a block, able to set up a wall almost for the receiver to get to the outside. Unfortunately, as he did slip, he did not get more than 5 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 5 for Lincoln to get a first down here as they're right back to the line of scrimmage.
Burson now getting a little bit of rhythm. He'll run this time. He's got a lane, looking for a blocker, trying to set it up. He'll slide, Michael. He'll take it down to about the 22 where he began the slide, and they are knocking on the door, seeing if they can get back into this game before halftime.
Yeah, pass rush was very good for Western Oregon, but unfortunately up the field too quickly, and nobody in front of him when he got past the line of scrimmage, able to get down, slide, first down, Lincoln. How dare I?
The Oaklanders now on the 20-yard line, under a minute and a half. Burson now is going to pass again, but here comes pressure. Here's a flag, and it's Parnell with his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The Parnell party today. He's doing what he does, even with a hold on that play. Able to get from that backside, chase down the quarterback. And another sack for Jalen Parnell. He's on his way to Defensive Player of the Week, possibly.
Tony, up there, you better make a note. I like that. We're going to call it the Parnell Party next year. Parnell Party. Very, very nice afternoon so far for number 9.
Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty, first down.
They didn't decline that one. Interesting.
Jerome Brown Jr., 6'3", 318-pound senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Valdosta State University.
I guess we'll take that sack off the board for Parnell then. Interesting. That would have been a 6 or 7 yard loss, and they decided to take the penalty instead. So
1st and 20, Michael.
1st and 20 instead of a 2nd and 15.
Heading towards a minute remaining here in the first half on Senior Day. Again, delayed play, could have been a hold call there. Burson throws behind Mennoniti. basically with good defense. A lot of things could have got called there. That play did not start off with a good snap. It started off almost like a delay.
Yeah, and you see Parnell's speed against the tackle. He's able to get around him real fast. It did look like he hooked him, but he must have let go fast enough for the referee. Incomplete pass as a result, though. 2nd and 20 for the Oaklanders.
Western Oregon has all 3 of their timeouts, but I think they feel content probably trying to end this particular offensive drive right now by the Oaklanders and go into halftime with a 25-point lead. Burston now under great pressure. He'll get underneath. Faison Knight has it. He's looking for a blocker. Lee, again, shoestring catch, a shoestring tackle. A good open athletic field play from number 6.
And a good play by Lincoln. You know, it's a 3rd and 20, and they're trying to get themselves in a better position to pick up a first down. Offense out there very quickly. 2nd and 20. So it's 3rd and 10 now.
Little screen pass. They get it to 2. 2's going to get knocked out of bounds right around the 25, Michael. Maybe 23. He picks up a couple, but it will. No, they got the clock rolling, Mike.
So he doesn't get out of bounds. It's 4th and 8 with the offense. With the offense back to the line of scrimmage.
And this is where you can see that they're new. Okay, I mean, there's just not enough communication. There's not enough urgency, as now it is 10 seconds remaining, and this should likely be the final play of the first half. Here comes Curtis Anderson, pressure, throwing up in the air, and it was going to be intercepted, and they're going to let it run to zeros, and we will head to halftime. Wolves.
We'll see real quick. It looks like the refs might be coming into. Nope.
So they will call it halftime. We're at zeros, 34-9. Wolves on top of the Oaklanders. Halftime coming up. Special guest, head coach Jaron Ferguson here on KWVT, Channel 17. Very, very competitive in a lot of ways, Michael. The score may not show it, but competitive football game.
Yeah, very competitive. The Oaklanders have had plenty of opportunities to really put themselves in this game, but turnovers and penalties have hurt them. And Western Oregon has done a great job of converting off of most of the mistakes that the Oaklanders have made. You like what Winker has done this game. Hasn't passed so many times, but been very efficient when he has. And again, 3 touchdown passes during that time. Omari Land only 35 yards rushing. We're hoping for him to get up to that 1,000-yard rushing mark this season, but he's had his game going very well. There's not much that he's been able to do with the way the Oaklanders defense is playing. They have a lot of 8 or 9 man in the box situations where the only thing that Western Oregon can do is pass the ball.
Western Oregon and the Oaklanders, Michael, of the 5 possessions that did hit the red zone, each team able to convert. Western Oregon all 4 times gets into the red zone, will score touchdowns, and the Oaklanders will do it on their one and only opportunity. Getting the 2 points, Mike, and what I would say is probably as the most bizarre play I've seen all season, a blocked extra point that was run back by the Oaklanders for the 2 points.
Kind of blocked, you know, it was a weird, the block is what made it bizarre. They decided not to do the quarterback fire or whichever play you would call it on this program. If it's a botched snap, they usually will have the quarterback drop back and try to throw it to one of the tight ends, essentially. Instead, they kicked it, and it was a block kick going into the back of the players. Goes right to the goal line. Deion White uses his speed, picks it up, and has a wall of blockers in front of him to give them their final 2 points of the half. An enjoyable play, especially for Lincoln. Western Oregon overall has just had big touchdown plays that have been exciting, a lot more exciting in the long run.
Kind of for both teams damaging, but far less damaging for Western. Western only has 5 penalties for 49 yards in the first half, but the visitors from Lincoln in California, the Oaklanders, go for 9 penalties and 48 yards, and a little of it was just kind of being overly enthusiastic at times. And again, we talked about, you know, as a program, just getting its feet, you know, grounded and wet, you know, learning how to respond to adversity or to actually good things happening.
Yeah, and it's you know, Lincoln, especially coming from California with the time change. I'm just kidding. It's a big feat for them to get over their deficiencies, and especially when you're having turnovers, penalties, it's not something they're going to be able to overcome and win games, especially on the road at this point.
Only 2 receivers, basically, that have been used a lot, Faison Knight and Lamar Housley for Burston. Cameron Burston, 9 of 18 in the first half. And you're right, Gannon Winker didn't have to do much passing at all. 7 of 10 for 111 yards. 3 touchdowns, though, Michael.
My stat sheet doesn't have the quarterback rating, but I think Winker's 7 of 10 for 3 touchdowns would give him a very high, somewhere in that 150s range, I'd imagine.
A nice thing for him. And again, a tough day for Ryan Worthley, announced with the seniors, even though he is a junior. Worthley will not be moving forward, I guess, with the program. Graciously kind of took the news and has been a great support to this team, a great leader. We wish him the best. We're going to step away for a timeout. The second half coming up here on Northwest Television Sports and KWVT, Channel 17. Welcome back. Second half action soon to get underway. Sort of a bittersweet afternoon, Michael. We were kind of just here right before we came back on air, and we were looking at number 3, Curtis Anderson, and all the memories that we've had. Jalen Parnell being shown on the screen. He'll be back next season, but you know, Curtis Anderson is one of those guys that came from Mazama as a sophomore. His peers chose for him to be the captain of the team. He didn't ask for it. It's something that he's been a natural leader. I think it's going to be one of those players, again, like Paul Revis and other players that we've covered, Michael. I think that it'll be tough. It will be tough to not see him here next fall.
The Heibergers, the Revises, like the players that you hear their name, you see them make plays across the field all game long. And it's been a joy to watch him play over these years. I just started doing this myself 4 years ago. I lose track 5 years ago at this point.
You're getting old, Michael. I told you.
But he was one of the first players that stuck out to me. That was a younger player that I knew I was going to be able to see for the whole time that he was playing, and it's been a pleasure.
Dynamic special teams out here right now. You will see Sinclair and Curtis Anderson to go back deep. Oswaldo Ochoa will kick it off. But you've got some big guys out there. Jalen Parnell, Anthony Mack Jr.'s out there. You got London Smalley. You got Hickok, Reese. I mean, they do have the potential right here to probably get something going. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a. There it is. Curtis went after it. He missed it, and Curtis Anderson made a mistake.
Yeah, it's the Oaklanders came out trying to get a play. They do that short kick. Curtis Anderson trying to use his speed. He does this thing where he wants to hit the line, hit the ball, whatever he's doing with that momentum and speed. Fortunately for him, he didn't catch the ball on that one.
Funny hop, or, again, just that dynamic personality as he wanted to try to hit something big right off the bat.
Always trying to make a big play, and then Faison Knight, who's been making big plays for the Oaklanders today, able to come up with that ball. Lincoln again, as they've done this whole game, great field position inside the 30-yard line. Western Oregon gets a challenge to start the second half, see where these teams are coming out of the half, who's going to be hot, who's going to be able to get this the stop or the score right now. Let's find out.
Curtis Anderson now just going to play straight DB. They'll hand it off to 2. 2 goes off the right-hand side. Anthony Mack Jr. was coming in to make the hit, but the defensive line will get credit for that. Twister McComas ends up making the tackle.
Yeah, and it looks like Hector Cazares as well there. It's a good job by the defense, just going along, doing everything right, staying in their lanes as they're running a zone play for the Oaklanders, but holding them to a short gain, 2nd and 10. For Lincoln University.
They're on their 27-yard line of Western Oregon, and it will be very interesting after kind of a mistake by Curtis Anderson, if they can cash in here, what the defense might be able to do. I know they've had trouble stopping him. Underneath, Burson will throw it. Did you get to Housley? Or was it 19 again? We're just bad with our eyes, Mike. I mean, it was a reception.
Either way, it was a great job reaching out, grabbing that ball from the air. Positive gain there, setting up a 3rd and 5. Western Oregon's defense looking to make a stop.
Riley Lee makes the reception, number 19.
So you were right off the bat. There you go. Maybe you did say another person, but it's all good.
3rd and 5 here. Big play for the Oaklanders as they're trying to take advantage of it, and it is a sack. And I think that is Parnell coming off the bottom.
Parnell saying, give me another sack. You guys took one away and took a penalty for some reason.
You're right. It's third. They took the one away. Again, we've coined the phrase. We'll give it to Michael Brown. It's a Parnell party in the backfield.
Parnell party in the backfield. 4th down and 9. It looks the offense is going to stay out for the Oaklanders. See if they can get some points off this free drive, essentially, for them after the muffed reception or muffed return by Western Oregon earlier.
Curtis Anderson showing another part of his game. He's been playing straight DB on this thing, not any down, but now he sneaks up to the line, and he's looking to put the pressure on. Gets through. Burston now looking for a path to throw. Throws underneath. He gets it. And like you said, Michael, this could turn out to be a very, very good play for them. And they push it in, and they're going to get a 26-yard touchdown out of this. I am very impressed.
Yeah, great job. Quarterback has plenty of time sitting back, and then as he moves to the outside, catches a receiver open by himself in the middle, and he's just going against the flow of the defense. And right as they get to that 5-yard line, he uses his beast mode, if you will, to try to get up to that goal line. And a touchdown for the Oaklanders with the extra point to come.
So very interesting, Michael. Their one win came up actually here at Willamette.
Yes, in Willamette University.
And very interesting. And now they are about ready to put on, if the extra point is good, 16 points. Their high for the season in scoring is 34 and 29 collectively. They have a good chance today to maybe surpass that the way that they're playing. The kick is up, and it is good, and they take advantage of the turnover. Western Oregon leading 34-16 early in the third quarter here on Northwest Television Sports, KWVT, Channel 17. Curtis Anderson missing the opening kickoff of the second half. Lamar Housley, a 26-yard touchdown pass from Cameron Burston. And I got to tell you, very, very nice start coming out of halftime. You expect kicking it off, you could be in a sustained drive for your defense. Instead, you get the gift, and they cash in on it, Michael.
And now we'll see if they try a onside kick or anything. No, they kick it regular.
Anderson now will get underneath this, and like you said, he wants to hit it hard, looking for a block, running to the outside. He hits the 40, tripped up, and again, Michael, probably just one or two more steps, and he's going to turn that thing upfield. And again, historic career here as a great, great kickoff and punt returner.
And it's essentially the same play as before. He tries to, run up and catch that ball with his speed going, as opposed to stopping and catching the ball. And it's a risk. The reward is what he just did. He got a 15-yard return based on his speed getting to it. Now we're at the line of scrimmage, Western Oregon, 1st and 10.
Storyline will be following in the second half. How many times do we see Omari land in this second half? He'll get it right off the bat. And really, since the early part of this game, probably the last 5 or 6 times that he's rushed the ball, Michael, just not an alley for him or any room to run right now.
Lincoln has made an adjustment since the first half, and Omari had some early success. He only has 35 yards at this point, and they're stopping at the line of scrimmage. They have 8 men up there, man-to-man on the outside. You see if Western Oregon can take advantage of the receivers man-to-man on the outside.
Look for Land maybe to sneak out of the backfield and become a receiver on this play. He is open on the left side, but they'll go underneath. They'll get it to Thomas Wright Jr. He'll turn it to the 35, trying to get away from the tackler, still away from the tackler, and he'll take it down to about the 33-yard line.
Fantastic job again. Man-to-man. Winker has plenty of time there waiting for him to come over across the middle. And then it's just a matter of, can you break that tackle and work your way down the field as everybody's trying to tackle him. Great job holding on to the ball, getting a first down for Western Oregon as they try to gain some momentum in the second half.
Winker comporting himself quite well in his first start as a freshman. There is rumors of redshirt freshmen that are coming in next year that are going to compete for this job. He gets a pass out to Hickok. Hickok's going to get a big running start. 20, keeps his feet to the 10, and just stumbles, and it would have been Hickok to the house for his second touchdown if he could have kept his footing on that play.
But a great reception by Hickok. Play action pass almost as they get it out to Hickok. Just one man to beat, but not quite. But a first down for Western Oregon. Again, working on their way to get down this field to score some points. Try to erase any thought from Lincoln that they can stay in this game.
Another senior in the game right now. Michael in the backfield. First chance to see today, number 26. Dante Davis. Pass from Winker ends up in Davis's hands. He falls out of bounds, picking up maybe 6 yards on the play for the senior. Winker, though, highly efficient today out of the pocket and on moving.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time most of the time in the backfield. They haven't had too much problem passing the ball, getting a lot of pressure on Winker, and maybe just some pressure against the running backs. So they're trying to get a little bit more wide open with the offense right now. Throw a little half, I want to say, to the flat pass, and it's a 2nd and 5 now for Western Oregon.
Thomas Wright Jr. in the slot. Jaron Ford now out there. Davis will get the handoff, running up the middle. Effectively getting close to first down yardage, but I think it will bring up a 3rd down and short, Michael.
Yeah, it looks like almost to the first down marker, but just short. And Western Oregon changing up the look right now, bringing the fullback out, bringing a couple more receivers in. You're going to go a little bit more wide open with Amari Land in the backfield. See what they can do here on 3rd down.
Ford,
big play
Hickok
for the Oaklanders to try to really get themselves in this game.
Reese, Thomas Wright Jr., Hickok, and Ford are your receivers for Winker. You'll have Land in the backfield. They'll call it 3rd and a long 2 from the 5-yard line. Winker's going to pass. He's got time. He's flushed out, looking to his left, keeping his feet. He's running to the end zone. He'll get it in, and it will be a 5-yard touchdown for the quarterback.
Great job by him, just sitting in the pocket, going through all of his reads. Can't find anybody open, and as soon as he realizes it's open there, still looking down the field to hold off the defenders, and just walks into the end zone. Another touchdown for Western Oregon. Extra point to come.
Think positive things about Gannon Winker right now. He seems very composed.
Very, very composed.
He took a little knock to the knee. Somebody got him last week when he was playing down in Nebraska, but again, no problem there for the 5-yard touchdown. Extra point is up, and it is good. Western Oregon now extending its lead to 41-16 here on Northwest Television Sports on KWVT, Channel 17. Nine minutes and 14 seconds on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, Mike. Not even 6 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter, and we've had 2 touchdowns already.
2 touchdowns and some fun action here early in this 2nd half for a couple teams that have had a difficult season in many points, and it's fun to see them have some fun out in this field right now.
Kosak kicks. Deepest kick we've seen from him probably today. Gets down to 10. He's got Faison Knight. Knight now trying to get a blocker. And he'll be hit right at the 20 and brought down by London Smalley. London Smalley is going to be an integral part of this offense next year. Very, very, very fast, picking up the tackle there on special teams.
Give a shout out to Rashawn Ramsey of Lincoln with a absolute pancake block out there to try to spring his man, but great job of the rest of the Western Oregon special teams to hold him to a short gain on that. Now this is an interesting time where they have the worst field position I think they've had for the whole game, and see if they can do something with this where they've turned down and passed off a lot of their good opportunities earlier.
They got backed up, Michael, early there when they were down on the goal line and had to punt it out of there, but you're right. Probably this is about the 2nd worst that we've seen, and I think it's an important moment again. They have stayed, in my opinion, highly competitive in this game, even though the scoreboard does not show it. Burson's in trouble. He'll get it out of the backfield. Underthrown, incomplete pass. And I can tell you, Burson definitely feels the pressure coming on this play.
And as you see his jersey muddled up with some mud on the back there, he hasn't had much time today as they have the outside rushers going in every single time against him when he's passing the ball. He's got to get the ball away quick. Little quick slant passes, quick pass to the flat there, and incomplete pass again. 2nd and 10 for the Oaklanders.
Cameron Burston, number 10 left-hander, has had a couple of very nice throws. The 26-yard touchdown on the previous drive. Now 2nd down and 10 from his own 20-yard line. 9 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Now poised, steps up, throws behind his receiver. And here comes the penalty flag.
Yeah, they delayed. It was a slow roll of those penalty flags right there, but a good call there as it was one of those situations for a defensive back. There's not much you can do on there. You're defending well, but the ball is underthrown behind him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
And as he turns around late there, they're going to call the penalty on that, even if the ball is uncatchable.
Chronicling the season, I would say probably the Achilles heel of this defense. It's had its moments where it has played very poised, but defensive penalties have really, really stalled out any momentum in certain games, and it has been kind of the deciding factor of whether Western Oregon had remained competitive or non-competitive in certain games, home and away this season. Bursting now from the pocket, looking downfield, has a man open just outside the reach of number 19. Why can't I remember his name, Mike? Riley Lee.
Riley Lee. Yeah, he's trying to get the ball down to Riley Lee. One of the times where he actually does have time in the backfield to just sit there and look for the play to develop. Unfortunately for Lincoln, ball overthrown. 2nd and 10 upcoming for Lincoln Oaklanders.
41-16 if you're just joining us this afternoon on Senior Day. Final home game for Western Oregon, final game of the season, and our final broadcast here on KWVT Channel 17. Pass behind his man again, but he'll get it out to the first down marker. Faison Knight gets it. Tackle made by Ulrich Jr. Ulrich Jr., lesser known fact, has the most tackles of anybody on the team today.
Yeah, and I wouldn't always go there with him, but he's done a great job. Just unfortunately couldn't get up to the receiver fast enough to try to get the ball knocked away or anything. 1st and 10. Lincoln.
Cameron Burston, when given time, has been able to find targets on a regular basis today, trying to move the ball past midfield, underneath, and he's tackled again. I don't know who got him, but came right underneath, Mike. Sacked again.
And I couldn't see it as well. I believe that might have been Ulrich again. No, I apologize.
I had 42. I had Mack Little.
You had Mack Little, and I had James Duane. Call it James Little or Mack Duane.
Half a sack apiece. No, I mean, it is, things that we can look forward to. I think, Michael, we can talk about this out loud. I mean, we've had such a great time up here in the last 4 years. I do think maybe next season we do probably it'd probably be a good idea for us to get a spotter. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that would love to sit up here and tell us the numbers of the people so that we could do this better.
Definitely in September and October. November, it could get a little cold, but just as a heads up.
Bursting now, throwing underneath. Oh, my goodness. That tip pass, and Micaiah Lee was coming up, and he was looking for a big defensive play.
Yeah, blitz. Quite a few people going through there right real fast. A lot of pressure on that quarterback to just throw it wherever he could. Essentially throwing it away there, hoping for a receiver to come up with it real quick. Nothing for him, but brings up a 3rd and 16 for Lincoln. They've been able to get out this once or twice, but most of the game, this is...
3rd down conversions today, Michael. Basically about 2 of 9 today for the visitors and the Oaklanders. This is going to be a big one. Sinclair and Anderson now playing very deep. Ulrich Jr. back as well. Burston's in trouble. He'll throw it underneath. Pass is dropped. Anderson breaks it up. Faison Knight.
As you see, Minetti, I believe Sinclair on the blitz, and they were down, slow getting up at least, but they are back there fast enough to get some pressure on the quarterback again. Special teams comes out, punt unit for Lincoln comes out, Western Oregon to get the ball back.
Oswaldo Ochoa coming out for his 4th punt of the game, averaging under 30 yards per kick on the afternoon. Again, Joey Sinclair, just a firecracker back there, ready hopefully to get underneath one and show off that top end speed that he has. Punt is away. Bad bounce again, and you have to remember previously in this game, Anthony Mack Jr., wrong place at the wrong time, had it hit him. Again, everybody gets away from it. Western Oregon will inherit the ball, leading by 25. 7 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Quarter that's been a little bit stagnant. A few incompletions here, some penalties. Not flowing as fast as the first half was. With a 25-point lead, Western Oregon, you look to see them run the ball here. Try to get that ground game established with Amari Land. They haven't been able to do that as well today. Try to get him some yards and work this clock.
trips wide receivers to Winkle's left.
And
He'll have
Winker.
Land gets it off the right side, gets a block, cuts it up. He'll get it out there. Best run probably had in about a quarter and a half.
Definitely just to the outside, following those offensive linemen. A good pickup of 8 yards. And this is what Western Oregon needs to do from here on out to work this clock. 25 points is quite a huge mountain for Lincoln to climb, and any more points, 32 points, would be almost impossible for them to climb back.
Again, I'll just use the word impressed. I think the Oaklanders have done quite well. Now, Land getting hot maybe here in the second half. He'll pick up first down yardage. They'll move the chains, but program has to be happy with, again, how they've competed. We don't know what happened in that game where they lost so poorly, Michael, but you had to think that,
Illegal substitution, defense 12 in the formation, penalties decline, result of the play is first down.
Now I see the flag all the way down there at the 38
There's a
yard
pole in our
line.
way. We can't be perfect again. That's why I want a spotter here next year. But I was going to say, they've just been competitive, Michael, and they've really calmed down. I think they've played as well as you can expect to play with as beleaguered a roster as they have in this first season. Winker now from the pocket steps up in it. He's got a man coming behind him, and he's going to be tackled, and it's going to be for a loss. Looks like Winker will be sacked, maybe for a 2 or 3 yard loss.
And one of the first times we've seen him have pressure today, sitting in the backfield. And look, one of these times where he thought he can step up, maybe get some yards out of it. Unfortunately for Western Oregon's offense, it comes up as a sack. Believe DeMonte Street for Lincoln able to get that sack and cause a short loss for Western Oregon.
On their own 44, it'll be second down and 12. Winker wants to throw again, using his footwork now. He's in trouble again. He'll be sacked back-to-back times. Again, just waiting a little bit too long to make his decision. Again, we've been talking about his composure, but maybe just being a little bit too patient on that play.
Too patient. It looks like he was going to pump and try to get some movement down the field. Nothing happening of the sort. Another sack, Western Oregon's offensive line getting worked on those last couple plays with a big third down here of about 20 yards to see if they can pick up first down.
Dante Davis flanking Winker in the backfield. 20 on the play clock. They're looking over to the sideline. Spread out is this offense now. 4 wide receivers. Winker's passing here. 3rd and long, going over the top. He underthrows it, and he's intercepted. There was pressure on Winker on that play. Underthrown, ball intended for Jaron Ford. And here we go again. The Oaklanders are going to get this ball back at midfield.
And he thinks he has a man wide open, but as you say, he underthrows it. May have been planned underthrow, just a behind the shoulder play. But a great job by the Oaklanders to get a turnover here. I was hoping that Western Oregon would try to work the ground a little bit more, try to work the clock. That gives Oaklanders a chance to try to get back in this game. 25 points. Be happier if it was 24 points for them for having a 3-score game.
I'm not saying that they're ineffectual, Michael, running the ball today, but they've had trouble since that first quarter.
True. Now, again, different offensive line today. Yeah. It's not what they've had most of the season. This isn't a blame thing. I was just thinking more work the clock. I'm never going to question a coach, by the way. It's not my game.
Nah. Well-designed play there from the Oaklanders. I thought that the defense looked all out of sorts on that play for Western Oregon. It's only going to end up being a short gain to Faison Knight. But again, the game planning that the Oaklanders are doing right now, they've been able to move the ball fairly effectively.
And it just ends up, do they get a breakaway play of 40 or 50 yards and score a touchdown, or do they have another turnover? That's how the game's kind of flowed for them today. But 2nd and 6 for them right now to pick up a first down, and we'll see what happens for them right now.
Trips wide receivers here to the bottom of your screen, short side of the field. Cameron Burston in the shotgun, passing to the lone receiver on the backside to get first down yardage. And again, this is an interesting thing. Ulrich Jr., when he first came in, Michael, I can't remember who got injured, but they picked on him pretty hard. He's obviously regained a lot of probably the skills that he had, as a high school player, but now is a very, very effective defensive back for this Wolves defense, leading tackler on the day.
And the coaches have had a lot of faith in him to be man-to-man on that side of the field. and he's done his job for most of the game.
In Wolves territory on the 43-yard line, first down and 10. Just about 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Burson steps up. He's got a big room to run, and he's been smart here. Again, runs out of bounds. Anderson will be credited with the tackle.
And a good job by Curtis Anderson playing safety, but working his way up the field to hold him to not a first down, as it looked like it could have been a first down for Lincoln. Curtis Anderson using his speed and strength to push him out of bounds. Setting up a 2nd and 1.5, we'll say, for the Oaklanders.
Conventional wisdom, Michael, on a play like this is you could run play action and try to do something over the top because you feel confident that if you don't get it, you'll be able to get it on a running play on 3rd down. Be interesting to see what Lincoln's offense chooses to do on this play. Ulrich Jr. on the sideline. Burson now, man out in the flat. Really nice play by Western Oregon's defense as they read it quickly, Michael, and it will go for a loss.
Yeah, Ryan Minetti, they're right away. It almost looked like they wanted to go down the field, but Minetti read it the whole way. Had the coverage on the running back coming out of the backfield, and a fantastic job for him. A huge loss for Lincoln, setting up a 3rd and 6.
Housley was the recipient. Minetti with the tackle.
Some confusion where the wide receiver is supposed to be lined up. We'll see how that works out for Lincoln.
A lot of miscommunication. Now 5 on this play clock. 4. They'll get it off in time. Burson now is in trouble. Anthony Mack Jr. No, yes, it is Anthony Mack Jr. coming out of that pile, and another sack for this Wolves defense.
And the Oaklanders look exhausted on offense, which isn't a normal thing most of the time, but a great job by Mack to get through there, and another sack for Western Oregon. And it looks like they're going to go for it here with 4th and 10.
4th and 10, Mike. It's under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's an important time, again, just in the infancy of a program. How much confidence could they gain here by picking up a first down and keeping this drive going? Western Oregon right now set on defense. Cameron Burson now looking to his left, has a man over the top into double coverage, and it's Curtis Anderson with an interception. He's down the sideline, he's looking for a blocker. He hits the 30, 40, 20! If he can get by one guy, it's Curtis Anderson to the house, but he runs out of bounds. Oh my!
Fantastic job by Curtis Anderson on that play. Safety, 2-man deep safety, and he's able to get underneath there, pick that off, and then it's just a game of can he make it down the field. There is some laundry on the field, so I believe there will be some it might come back and not be inside the 5-yard line, but that was around the same place as the line of scrimmage, so it could have been an offensive hold. We'll find out shortly.
I want to give credit to Jaron Brown Jr. chasing down Curtis Anderson, pushing him out of bounds. Great individual effort from Lincoln's offensive line.
As we're about to hear the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, intercepting team, number 19. That penalty be added to the end of the run. 15 yards.
LJ Lovelace. Again, he's an exuberant guy. He likes to whoop it up, Mike. You know, and I think sometimes it gets the better of him.
And that's one of those on a return, on a big turnover. Again, not excusing it, but it's excitement sometimes. You know, I hear people say the coaches need to teach discipline better, but there's also a snap sometimes where you just see something you want to do and you go for it, and you're not thinking about the coaches at that moment. Unfortunately for Western Oregon, they lose 15 yards in that play, but the bigger point, they get a turnover, have the ball back inside the 30-yard line, looking to score here, 1st and 10.
Curtis Anderson kind of in his normal patrolling position, and he is a ball hawk. Land will get it, running up the middle. About 2 or 3 yards. It'll take us under a minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. I can't really preface it enough. It was a pleasure to talk with Curtis Anderson before the game. I know how excited his family was setting up their tailgate today, and I know how proud Curtis Anderson is of really establishing an identity of this program. Obviously, we'll never forget that celebration when they did claim their first share of the GNAC title. Now Winker, 2nd down and 6 on the 23-yard line, gives it to number 23, and he'll push forward and almost pick up 1st down yardage there, Michael.
Yeah, again, working with those offensive linemen, hanging behind, looking for that hole to open. Does see a hole open, can't quite get to the 1st down marker, but they're right back to the line of scrimmage.
Not a lot of time left on the clock here. They're going to pick up the 1st down on the QB sneak. We're going to head into the 4th quarter here as soon as they set the chains, Michael. But again, kind of what you said, you set the stage so well today about the Oaklanders, Michael. Penalties and then turning the ball over. At the end of the 3rd quarter here on Northwest Television Sports, it'll be the Wolves going up by 25, 45-16 here on KWVT, Channel 17. Third down and 1 coming up, Michael, but I thought they did move the chains, right? So I got 1st down. Board has not been changed. We'll start with 15 minutes here in the final quarter of the final game of the 2021 season for the Western Oregon Wolves here on KWVT. Winker gives it to Land. Land now splits off to the left, and he'll push it forward. He'll take the ball down to about the 13-yard line.
Doing what Amari does. Handoff up the middle, just running behind those blockers. Finds his little gap and hits that last safety that's always trying to take him down, and picks up about 6 yards on that play. 2nd and 4 for Western Oregon inside the 15-yard line.
Dante
Almost
Davis coming back in, number 26. Dante Davis has nursed several injuries, but has been able to play last week at Chadron and here this week in front of the home crowd as a senior. Reese in motion. They give it to Davis. Davis doesn't get it. Actually, it's Winker with the fake. He'll run it down to about the 10. Be just short of a 1st down, it looks like, Michael, or they've got to go to about the 9-yard line. It looks like we're going to maybe be at 3rd and 2.
Yeah, just a little short, it looks like. And that quarterback keeper.
David Scotello, tight end, 6'5", 255-pound junior from Snoqualmie, Washington, entering the game. It is going to bring up 3rd and 2, Michael, and it does look like kind of a heavy package with 2 tight ends, indicating that it will be a run. They give it to Davis. Davis off the right side, and he actually runs into his own player and trips over him. It's going to fall short, and I think we're going to see a field goal here, Michael.
Don't see any special teams players running out onto the field.
No, they aren't, Michael. You're right. Nobody warming up.
Yeah,
they're going to
Edward Tuafaso and the rest of the offense line up the middle, ready to see if they can take control of this line of scrimmage and get a 1st down here, try to push it all the way through for a touchdown.
Winker hasn't had to call his number too many times, but I think this is a perfect opportunity for the 6'6" freshman to do just that. They're going to put him underneath center. Davis will be the lone setback, and they're going behind to push him forward, Mike, and I don't know if this was the right call.
Looks like they got the 1st down there.
They are indicating immediately that it is 1st down. I mean, he's 6'6". I mean, I think that's why even at 2 yards, I mean, if he falls down, he gets the 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the official all the way on the other side of the field. It gives me a better point of view. My beautiful mind doing all the equations, trying to figure out what's going on the field, the math, the weather, the wind, the lights, what's going on all around us. And you were right, though, but unfortunately, you're a little bit wrong, and that's a 1st down.
Winker gets a fresh set of downs on the 5-yard line. Davis gets it again, and he's just not quite getting the same hit on the offensive line that we see from Amari Land or from Loggins. And again, Valadares will be back next fall.
Yeah, but Dante Davis, a senior from Elk Grove, California, consumes Oaks High School. We're trying to see if he can get in the end zone. One of his last games, or his last game here at Western Oregon.
Now under 12 minutes remaining in the game. Winker now going to pass. Little fade pattern out to Hickok. Hickok very well covered by the Oaklanders on that play.
Yeah, very well covered with that almost fade route to the corner. Hickok looked like he had a chance at it at the last second, but unfortunately just outside of his reach. And it'll be 3rd and 5 now for Western Oregon at about the 6-yard line. I say 5-yard line, 5.5.
Kobe Jenkins, 6 foot, 210-pound freshman from Fresno, California, on the defense of Damon Hickok. Davis now communicating with Winker. Winker goes back underneath center. 3rd and 5 from the 5. He fakes it. A little bit of a naked bootleg, and Winker's going to go in. He faked out everybody.
Most definitely got me. And then I thought he was going to pass it outside, but a great job by Winker knowing where he was when he turned around. Able to get the defensive end sucked in, takes it into the house. Another score for Western Oregon.
Western Oregon now 47 points on the board,
with an extra point to come.
Highest scoring output, Michael, for this offense all season comes in the final game on Senior Day. Winker now 2 touchdowns running. Kick is up and it is good. It is 48-16 here on Northwest Television Sports, KWVT Channel 17. Welcome back to Monmouth, Oregon and MacArthur Field here on KWVT Channel 17. Western Oregon University and the Wolves are having their most prolific day scoring on the season. Previous high for scoring was in that great West Texas game where they won 41-38. That was probably their biggest victory, but again, they're trying to end this season on the best note possible, taking on the Oaklanders of Lincoln University in their inaugural season in Division II football. Short kick coming underneath it, and the special teams, it's going to be Joey Sinclair. He misses the tackle, and then coming up behind is London Smalley. Lots of whistles being blown.
Trying to get control of the game here.
I think it's practicing whistle blowing.
Working on those lung skills there. The one thing I'll say about Lincoln right now, this is their, I believe, 8th game of the season, 9th game of the season, all on the road.
That's like unheard of, Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you want to have a home.
They played in Oregon twice at home, or on the road. It might as well be their home right now. Texas a few times. It's a big ordeal to overcome for sure, and you like that they've still been fighting. Even though it's a 32-point game here, you still see them working with very few players. They don't have much depth, so all these guys that are out in the field are busting the hump all day.
I mean, it's almost like playing like old school
out here.
It's like old school, Michael. I mean, like playing two ways.
For sure.
I mean, it's like when you can't take it down
that thing
off.
where you put your arm out forward and put the ball on the side and just keep going forward.
Yeah, totally get it. Cameron Burson now, lefty goes underneath. He'll underthrow.
Yeah,
Knight on the play there. Phase on
pressure
Knight.
in the backfield. Even when he's trying to get rid of the ball, he's getting taken down after the play, right as the ball is being thrown. Can't find the receivers down the field, and that's where we've seen the results today in the passing game.
Western Oregon's defense has been plenty hungry today. Parnell parties. He's got 3 sacks on the day. Curtis Anderson finally gets the interception he's been waiting for all season. Anthony Mack Jr. proving he's probably going to be a superstar on this defense in the future. Now on 2nd down, Burson's forced to pass again. And Curtis Anderson got as high as I've seen him jump in a long time. Almost got that.
And there's some action in the backfield right now. There's some offensive linemen getting into it with Mack in the backfield.
Mack's got a motor, Mike. I'll tell you that. He when he came off the field in that Central Washington game at halftime, he doesn't dispel the myth of he dislikes the opponent. He's pretty adamant about it. He's very gregarious, very likable, nice person, but you know what happens once you put the chin strap on.
Oh, most definitely. It's a time to let go of some rage sometimes, but unfortunately it's got to be within the whistles, and I don't know if it's just going to be on him, because I think it was a back and forth between him and the offensive lineman. There was 2 offensive linemen there with him going back and forth. I didn't see any punches thrown or anything like that. I just thought it was a little bit of a unnecessary extra. Just extra.
And here it is, Michael, on our final broadcast.
Get the lights.
The lights have come on. We are underneath the Saturday Night Lights. Afternoon.
I mean, it's night somewhere right now, isn't it?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 47, offense number 79. Those penalties offset. That's both number 79 Lincoln, Western Oregon number 47's first unsportsmanlike. Down counts, 3rd down.
What happens if you get a second one, Michael? Are you gone?
But yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if it's second or third when it just comes to that type of penalty, but either way, it's not necessary. Don't do it again, especially on something like that where you're just running your mouths back and forth with each other.
Correction from earlier.
Because he made a good play on that, getting some pressure in the backfield, but it's unnecessary. He's upset because the offensive lineman hits him after blah, 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 blah. Get to the next play, let's go.
Previous to the 48-point outburst today by Western Oregon, 2 weeks ago, Simon Fraser, they scored 42. Bursting in trouble again, but he'll step up. He'll get it to Faison Knight, but good open field tackling right there. And well done. It'll bring it back up to be, what, 4th and 10 from the original line of scrimmage, Michael?
4th and 10, and I don't see any special teams players coming out for Lincoln.
Actually, it wouldn't be 4th and 10.
4th and 2, excuse me.
4th and 2.
And they've got the offense still on the field to see if they can pick it up via penalty and offsides by the defense, or see if the offense can take care of business and get a first down here.
DiCenno Jr. with the tackle. Just under 11 minutes here, and a big 4th down conversion opportunity for the Oaklanders, and they get it. I'll tell you, left-handers are just they're wily. There's no other word. They're shifty. You don't see the ball coming out the same way, and he makes that play with his legs with a quick toss to Faison.
Like anything else, you have to practice against it, because if you're not used to it, you're not used to the ball coming out and flowing the same way. You do have a whistle on the field. See what that is. Some confusion somewhere around here. A lot of people running the sideline right now. I think there may have been some action on the sideline there as Mack is heading back to the sideline.
Mack is not heading to the sideline. He's heading to the locker room.
And I think it may have been having some stuff going on the sideline there. I didn't really see what was going on.
Either did I, Michael, but that
was enough for the refs to run over there in the middle of the game.
And it's a very, very strange thing. You don't see that very often. Again, unfortunate. But today, let's go ahead and take special notice again. Thank you to the Wolves football seniors today: Curtis Anderson, Wiley Joseph, Mac Little, Jacob Pruitt, Braden Fuzek, Anthony Orlando, Jaron Ford, Andrew Gross, and Twister McComas. It's been a pleasure to call your games. Good luck on your future endeavors. Now 10-24, 1st and 10, and a fresh set of downs for the Oaklanders. And they'll hand it off, but again, you talked about the tough sledding.
It wasn't as bad today as I thought it would be. Still 10 minutes left in this game, but I think there were more slips and just unassisted tackles last 2 weeks ago when they played Central Washington. So the field has been kept up pretty decently, even with all this rain we've had. I would say that was a miss by me if I was to.
It happens, Michael.
I thought it might have been a little bit more.
Drops a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11 for Lincoln. Lincoln now passing. Burson now flushed out to his left. Finds a man wide open. Nice little play. Spin move. Gets away from 4 and 5 intended tacklers. Twister McComas will finally get it and bring up Lincoln about a yard short of a first down.
Yeah, David too again. As he catches that ball and makes 2-man miss with a whoop, whoop. And then now the whole team is around him, so let's get down. But a good job by Lincoln, still fighting their way down the field and still trying to make some positive plays.
I haven't seen an ounce of this team play where I don't think they're playing absolutely as hard as they can. Again, I'll just use that word. I've been using it all day. It's impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah, it's true. They lost a game by almost 100 points this season, and you wouldn't know it today. You wouldn't know it by any means.
Pressure coming, and that had the potential to be a very, very nice play. As good patience by the quarterback, but just underthrown to his target is running back David Two.
David Two is a name we've heard a lot today as he's made some plays.
So to bring up 4th down, Michael.
4th down and 1, waiting for the call from the sideline. I think it would be a play right up the middle, but the game's gone differently than I thought in a lot of ways today. We shall see.
Cameron Burson now could call his own number 10, maybe hand it off. Again, he's been prone to also look for Faison Knight in this situation. Mike says handoff up the middle, and it looks like the Western Oregon defense is going to hold, and they will take over on downs.
And you do see some Lincoln players talking a lot of trash right now as their frustration is starting to build. You see some leadership from some of the Western Oregon players pulling their players back and saying, let's go to the sideline, let's get the offense back here, let's play a clean game for the rest of the way out, win with some class here today.
Yeah, I agree, Michael. I think that's an unfortunate incident. Maybe it's something we'll never talk about again. Maybe we'll bring it up early next fall. Anthony Mack Jr. is going to be a standout defensive player here, but today you can't do things like that and expect to not to get away with it. Wyatt Harsh, I believe, Mike, is going to be in the game for the first time today. Dante Davis, nice run.
As he wanted to jump over some shares, didn't get a chance, but a good job by him. 4 or 5 yard gain. Getting it out to the outside. No defender in front of him. Works his way to the sideline. 8:35 left in the game. Clock still running here. As you see them with no hurry to get the next play up. As you said, Harsh is the quarterback now.
I expect a steady dose of this now, Michael. I mean, I think, again, a lot of promise heading into next season. Again, on this offensive side of the ball with the weapons that they're going to bring back at the skill positions. And it'll be nice to see Wyatt, get some action. But I know that, again, there are a lot of things that can happen in an offseason. A lot of growth can happen. Davis gets it again. He'll take it down to about the 31, pick up first down yardage. And really nice to see a player who's really been injured all season to get a chance here and play his final football game here.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, as a senior, name we haven't called as many times this season. I want to say he's been third.
Actually, I don't know, Mike. I may not be. He's not on our list, is he?
He's on my roster as a senior, so I hope I'm not wrong on that.
If not, Dante, we apologize. Congratulations on getting in the game and really, being healthy. We love to see it. That's all we'll say.
It has an SR next to his name on my roster, but I hope I'm not wrong on that one. Or if I'm right, I hope you're getting your praise right now.
Harsh now in the shotgun. He'll have 3 wide receivers out to his left. He'll hand it right back to Davis, fake the pass, and really effective ground pounding going on right now by Davis and getting multiple touches 3 times in a row for number 26.
Good job by him, and good job by the offensive line. Keep grinding, keep working your way down the field. The interesting thing with the season off for a lot of teams and the different amount of years that certain players have gotten, 4 or 5 years depending on the situation, I can say I have definitely gotten lost on how many players and which players are still on the team or left early or vice versa. So
one of the great things, though, Michael, about this season was what the NCAA granted because of the issues with the worldwide pandemic known as COVID-19. They allowed players to have, an extra year of eligibility. And Harsh now throws underneath. He gets Thomas Wright Jr. That ball is up in the air and up for grabs. And I'll tell you, Thomas Wright Jr. was, talk about hung out to dry.
Yeah, and there is a flag on the play there.
He got popped.
Yeah, as it looks like the ball was just behind him a little bit enough, and the ball was tipped as well. That's the biggest thing there. The ball was tipped at the defensive line and throws the whole entire play off there. Waiting to see what the call is on the field.
Nick Peterson, outside linebacker, breaking the play up.
It looks like Western Oregon backing up.
Ineligible. Downfield offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
If you saw the Monday night game, there was a fantastic catch by an offensive lineman that he shouldn't have been down the field. Every offensive lineman's dream. Fortunately, this was just the basic. You went down too far when you were blocking, setting up a 2nd and 11.
Harsh kept it himself, and he's tackled for a loss. Harsh getting up slowly as well.
And the unfortunate thing when he's holding on the ball and lands on the ball, setting up a 3rd and 16 for Western Oregon. Yeah, the game hasn't flowed as quickly as a couple of the games we've seen here this year, but you enjoy the success if you're a Western Oregon fan that they've been able to do mostly what they wanted to do, especially on the special teams and defense. And now you see Harsh trying to continue working the clock and working the ball down the field, trying to get a first down here.
I mean, the big positive thing I'm taking out of this today, Michael, is that Western Oregon's going to get a victory. We were here 2 years ago, and they'd come off Davis now on the draw. Probably going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th down is my guess.
And it's a smart play. Lincoln hasn't really worked their way down the field except for one drive. And 8 yards to go with a bunch of players that haven't had as much playing time, so might as well go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, like I said, they came off that rousing victory that, gives them and secures the co-championship. And I remember coming here the next week, and it was kind of all the air was out of the building, and it was a tough way to finish off that season. You still got to not take away from the championship. As Harsh will have 4th down and 7 on the Oaklanders' 29-yard line. Davis gets it. He runs off the right-hand side. It's going to be close, but I think they'll turn the ball over here on downs. Indications coming from the Oaklanders defense that they will take possession here.
As it's a run up the middle, not much you can expect there, but almost got to the first down marker as your player is down right now.
A lot of wholesale substitutions you're going to see on defense right now, Michael, but two players that I still see on that defensive side of the ball. Number 9, Jalen Parnell. The Parnell party definitely had its fun today. Curtis Anderson, I think, couldn't be much happier, maybe except for the opening kickoff in the second half. Played a great all-around football game today. And again, a pleasure to watch somebody who is passionate about doing something like this that he's probably been doing since he was playing pee-wee football. In his career, as of today, most likely as a football player, ends.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely opportunities out there if you want to play some arena-type situations or anything else like that, but most likely this is the last game, and it's been it's been fun to watch the whole entire time.
Bursting now to throw on first down. He fakes it. Now he's got a man behind him. Curtis Anderson gets his second interception. He might be looking to pitch this ball, but he's looking for blockers. He's going to hit the 20. Somebody coming from behind. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. 5. Oh, and then there comes. I think he's going to be all right, Michael. It was an awkward tackle going out of bounds, but he gets up.
Good for him.
Rod Tidwell down there, Jerry Maguire style. He's fine.
But there are a couple penalties on the play just as well. Block in the back, I believe. And as you see Curtis Anderson working his way down the field. No, somebody's behind him. Probably something that may have, it's always that thing, look to the goal line, try to get there. But taking out down at the 2-yard line. They're figuring out the flags on the play. But great job by Curtis Anderson in his final game.
During the return, block below the waist, intercepting team, number 27. 15-yard penalty, first down.
A hustle play, not a dirty play. But Curtis Anderson with his second interception this game, his final game at MacArthur Field. It's good for him to see him go out with this type of game. It's been a fantastic game for him. Still has his penalties every once in a while, but he's putting up some stats and having a great job out there.
If it is the last time, I'm damn emotional about it. I mean, it's the last time you see him, like, what a way to go out. I mean, he might know it. I mean, he's got that feeling standing, on the sideline, like that could be the last time. And I've never even thought about that. Maybe I did when we were talking about Paul Revis, Mike. I mean, that moment, like, hey, we just saw the end. And it's been a great run with him, and he's certainly left a legacy that I think the one I think that'll always be is about how hard you compete, and I think that's all you can say for him today is that he wanted to go out there and compete one more time. He's got his buddy Joey Sinclair, he's got Ulrich Jr. over there, Menoniti. I mean, they have formed quite a bond in that defensive backfield this year.
Yeah, and he's always been a player for this whole entire time he's been here. He's hustled. He's a fiery guy and definitely a competitor. And clock's moving with less than 4 minutes left in the game for Western Oregon. As all the seniors, Jacob Pruitt, Anthony Orlando, everybody, thank you for all the years you guys have given, and it's been fantastic to watch.
Harsh now. Been handing it to Davis. Davis is free. Davis going for the touchdown. Touchdown Wolves! Davis finds daylight and scores.
And bread and butter play just right up the middle. Letting that offensive lineman create some holes, and he sees the opening, decides to take off to the house with a score for Western Oregon Wolves. Extra point to come.
54-16, awaiting an extra point.
Set up by a Curtis Anderson interception.
Tanner Shattuck in to kick. Shattuck's kick is good. And the Wolves go up 55-16. We'll be back for the conclusion of this game on Northwest Television Sports, KWVT, Channel 17.
Props to the Red Hat.
Welcome back to Senior Day here at MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. Curtis Anderson having a heyday. 2 interceptions, his last interception, leading to a 2-play, 58-second drive. Dante Davis touches it twice, and on the second time, it's a 25-yard touchdown for number 26. Faison Knight coming underneath the ball at his 20, looking for a block, getting out to the outside. Mininiti and Joey Sinclair there. Penalty flag being thrown from 40 yards away. That guy's got an arm.
And it looked like there were plenty of blocks in the back there to pick from.
I mean, that guy threw that from the 50.
I was more surprised none of the rest of the refs, the officials, threw anything there. But as the game is winding down here with 3.5 minutes left, you see some backups.
During the return, personal foul, blindside block, number 19 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Player coming off is London Smalley, and I wonder if that's the guy that got it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Jalen Parnell's still in the game, but otherwise most of the players in the game are backups. I would say for both teams, but Lincoln doesn't have very many teams to back up, players to back up.
Curtis is still out there, which is surprising in and of itself. But again,
what are you gonna do? He's got 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. You let him have his time.
See if we can get another pick.
He's been itching to get in the end zone, so it's who knows. They hand it off to David 2 will be spun down. Obviously, we have to take this time, Michael. It's always bittersweet for us. It was a short season to only have to do 4 games. I had the pleasure of being able to travel with the team, but want to thank Ken Louis-Tag and Michael Matz and Tony Lonis and everybody in that truck on the cameras. I can't tell you what it means to me personally to be able to do this. I think you guys know. And I think you guys have made this as good a season as I can ever imagine. I can't really wait to come back next fall, Mike. I hate waiting, but that's part of life, and it's been fun. Obviously,
I apologize. I didn't bring any Kleenex, man.
I got my Kleenex, man. I'll cry at dinner. No, but it's been a blast. KWVT, local news, local broadcasting at its finest. It's an honor for us to do it. We know it, Michael. We know how lucky we are. There's a lot of jobs like this in the world, but
Oh, it's fantastic, man. I love doing this with you. So
yeah, I appreciate it, and all you guys out there, all the support.
I love the crew. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Like I said, frankly, we know that we wouldn't sound or look good at all if it weren't for you.
And Lonnie's food truck.
Oh yeah, Lonnie's
the athletic department with some food up in the booths up here.
Yes, they did. They did give us our chicken and rice and macaroni salad. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank my mom. What's up, Mom?
Ma Brown. Good old Paula. Run up the middle as we now head towards 1.5 minutes remaining in this season. I think the thing I'll take away from it, Michael, Western Oregon is just young. And
Most definitely.
Just young. When you only have 10 guys that are going to be leaving the program, they say, and you start looking down this roster, you're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old.
Yeah, fantastic future ahead for Western Oregon. A lot of players that are younger that have played, and they have a base to build up from, and it's going to be really exciting to see what happens.
As we kind of count down these final seconds, I will not get emotional about this, Michael, but I'll just say it. Obviously, 11 months ago, I lost my dad. I dedicate this entire season and everything I'm doing with broadcasting. I know that Western Oregon's a place I feel like it's home for me, Mike.
Timeout.
I'm going to be
Lincoln, first charge of the half.
I'm going to start doing some basketball here, in January. It'll be exciting, a different element. But to my pops and to my dad, I know that Mike and I have had the good fortune of having many a dialogue with him. I know he was with us throughout the time, and I know he's listening to us today. So to him, I love you too, Dad. There's 55 seconds remaining. If you were going to prognosticate a season out, we'll go out to next fall. Let's say there's 10 games. What kind of record do you see this team as they go through growth?
Well, the fun thing with Western Oregon is every game this season they've been close in the first half. They've been competitive. They're in it, and I think just with some experience with these younger players, to see who can replace Curtis Anderson, the couple of offensive linemen that are tackles. 7-3 isn't anything out of reason, and if possible, if they can get the team running, it could be 9-1 or 10-0, easily.
It's an interesting thing right now. I mean, you're seeing right now Coach Ferguson. It looks like he's bringing in One more run at the special teams.
Timeout. Western Oregon. First charge of the half.
Interesting. So he's got Joey Sinclair going back. He's got his normal guys out there for special teams. I don't know if he's sending them after the kicker or if they're going to flip-flop it and let Curtis get the...
I would think you'd let Curtis just maybe return it, even if that. They did just have... Lincoln did just run the ball for 4 plays just to run the clock out. So all things being equal, I think it'll be a quick fair catch.
Twister McComas coming off. Everybody kind of congratulating number 97.
Twister, who's probably been in some plays that we haven't seen in the middle of it, so great job by him today.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Props to all the players that we
Coach.
didn't call out at different points this season. In the middle of the piles, we can't always see who's making those tackles, but fantastic job by all you guys all year, hustling all the time.
Yeah, Twister McComas gave about as impassioned a speech as I've seen in a long time last week in Nebraska. Didn't quite turn out to his favor, but I know how his family felt about him today. Twister McComas also has a tattoo of a twister on his arm. He lives up to the billing.
Juice?
97 will be a sorely missed, I'd say unspoken leader. He definitely led by example, and he's having his moment now to kind of reflect on a career. Bad snap, kick is away, and it's a poor kick, and they did bring Curtis back out there. You're right. They're touched up by the Oaklanders, 46 seconds remaining. I imagine Arn Ferguson probably will go ahead and kneel down here. I don't think there's anything left to prove. Again, pretty good day for seniors here. That's what I'd say.
Fantastic job for them. Nice way for them to go out.
I think it's one of those things. It'll be strange when we do get back up here, when we do a mic check and we do a sound check next fall, Mike, to not see some of these guys out here that we've been so used to just calling their names for years. Again, we wish them the absolute best with their endeavors moving forward.
Victory formation for Western Oregon now.
They'll down the ball. The final score today will be 55-16. I will leave today, Michael, like I said, extremely impressed by this Lincoln University team, and I would be willing to bet if this is a game that gets scheduled again next year, it might be far more competitive.
As soon as Lincoln gets some more players, they're in California. There's always a plethora of players around there, so it'll be exciting for them in the future as well.
Western Oregon going to go out with a victory today and finish this season 4-6. It will be the conclusion of the 17th season for Arn Ferguson as head coach. I want to thank him personally and his entire staff for making me feel welcome on those road trips. For Ken Louis-Tag, everybody at KWVT, everybody here at Western Oregon, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to call these games each fall at MacArthur Field. For Michael Brown, I am Matt Palumbo. Football fans, wherever you may be, the Wolves go out on top, 55-16. We'll see you here next fall on KWVT, Channel 17.